for me, right? Very early for me. But I have an opportunity to be live this early, and so I thought I would go ahead and get to it today. So how about that? It's a very, very exciting, newsworthy morning. So I thought I'd just jump right on in here and start this conversation. So hopefully you guys are doing well this Thursday morning. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Mohammed OS. Hey, Kansas Steve. How are you? Folks, if you are joining me anywhere other than TikTok, make sure that you say hello when you come in because I don't get to see when you are coming in. Alaikum salam, Mohammed. Good morning, Nikki J. Good morning, VJ. What's up, Jennifer? Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Kareem, Mohammed. Hey, Candy Kiss. What's up, Randy? Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Win Dixie. Hey, Witch. How is everyone? I'm blessed and grateful. Good to see you. What's up, Penny GF? Yaya. Good to see you as well. Hopefully, you guys are doing well this morning. It's a lot going on, right? Good morning within one heart. It is very early everywhere. Girl, it's early for me. Good morning, Audra. Good to see you over there on the two of you. What's up, Conchita, Laronica? I know it's early, and I'm usually not on this early. Good morning, Amy. Hey, Sarah. What's up, Neuro Mama? You know, uh, my Facebook post manager day, yeah. So I have a little bit of a different take on today. I've seen a lot of people that are talking first cup of coffee. I haven't even had one yet, but I've seen. What's up, Dougal? Good to see you. I've seen some people this morning that are. Thank you, Mohammed Solomon. Shukran. Hey, Peacekeeper. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Lisa. You guys are just piling on in here. We love to see it. We love to see it. Good morning, Mirabelle. Every time I see you, that's how I'm going to say your name. I am early. I am early. Yeah, no, there's a lot going on. I had an opportunity to be on early this morning. Hey, Don Juan. Good to see you this morning. So, hey, good morning, Eric. Um, yeah, so I, Ramadan Kareem. Um, Thanks, Rich. Hey, Lavonda. Folks, if you're joining me over here, make sure that you say hi in the chat because I don't get to see you until you speak. So, but then again, some of y'all may intentionally not be speaking. You're coming back. Unlock the door. TikTok, here I come. Oh, that's hilarious. Come on back, Audra. Good morning, folks. I am ready to dive into this conversation. We're going to start here with this conversation. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what I'm referring to when I say the dominoes are starting to fall. And then we're going to switch gears in just a little bit and continue the conversation that we were having yesterday around, 2026 requiring that you vote for Democrats and discussions around healthcare and education and things like that. I do want to talk about the Illinois governor's State of the State address yesterday. Hey, Jennifer, good morning. I don't know if you all saw that or not, but he was very direct and pulled no punches, and it was really good. Yeah, so Amy, it's him, it's Tucker claiming that he him. I know that's your governor Cam, and so anyway, I do want to talk about that, and then we could touch on Tucker again. And he is saying that he and his staff were had their passports taken. They were put into a room. He says that they were asked what their conversation was with Mike Huckabee. Israel is saying no, that's not a thing. They just went through standard passport questions. Um, to be quite frank, I tend to believe Tucker on this one, which is just wild to say that I believe Tucker Carlson on this one, but I do. Yeah. Prince Andrew was arrested this morning, and there's a lot to talk about with that. Am I going to hit on the? Yeah, I talked about that yesterday, Jen, and I will talk about it again today. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I will talk about that. Hello, Raja. Um, and also remember that we are going to have some River to the Sea time today to honor Ramadan and to give some magic beans to our friends. And remember that you can also give directly to them in my link tree. Okay. Good morning, Sid Graham. So a lot to talk about today, a whole lot, and I'm kind of excited and ready to have this conversation. So I have a little bit of a different take. I see a lot of people this morning that are really like, okay, so if they can arrest a prince, why can't we arrest anything? Why isn't the United States doing anything? That's just a really silly question to ask. And the reason it's silly is it's a Trump administration. What do you mean? Like, who's in charge of the DOJ? Who's in charge of the FBI? Like, don't ask why aren't we arresting anybody? We're not arresting anybody because of who's in the DOJ and in the FBI and in the administration. Like, to get yourself all worked up and angry about that is just wild to me. Because for me, you know, we can just take our time, right? I mean, these things will come to pass. And the more Europe does what they do, what's up, DJ Strategy? The more that Europe does what it does, right? The more that Norway investigates and France investigates and the UK investigates, and the more that they arrest. And right, Barry B, Trump's not going to arrest Trump, right? Or Lex Weston, or any of those people. But the more that those other folks do their due diligence and they hold people accountable, the less absolutely, and the less we can deny, and the more we will have to take actions. We are talking about Handy Andy, Helen. We are talking about Handy Andy, and so it's just really for people to just take a deep breath. Um, so, like for me, I woke up and to me, this news makes me happy. It doesn't make me feel what do you mean? But they're all guilty, even in Europe, right? Europe is actually doing their investigations. Europe is actually doing the arresting, right? So like it's the EU isn't the people that are slacking; it's the U.S. And the U.S. is slacking because of who's in our administration. Like that's not difficult. We all understand that, right? But things that I did find interesting today. So I want to give you a little bit of a few snippets. Um, so Audra, not to my understanding, they are getting the files the same way that we are, right? To my understanding is Europe and they have the same files that we do, right? Um, I think what's really important though is that they're not pulling any punches. So I want to give you guys a little bit of information. Okay, so let me pull this up over here. All right, so just so that everyone knows, so it's reported, I don't know, Cam saying, no, they're not too big. Listen, if a prince is not too big to prosecute, there's no such thing as too big to prosecute. Like that's just not a thing, folks. There's no too rich, there's no too big, there's no too whatever. That's not a thing. Oh, okay. So I think I was talking about Europe, and I think Audra had asked me, do they have unredacted files? And I said, no, to my knowledge, they have the same files that we do. And then I think they would also have whatever they uncover on their end, right? So I think that that's the other thing to remember, folks, is that this communication came from there as well. So Europe has the ability to subpoena email records and those types of things, and so we just have from our side, they're doing their investigation from their side, and so I think that they have whatever they have. And so I think it's very telling that they're not taking they're not pulling any punches, right? So first let me just say this. Okay, so things that I found interesting. The police did not give King Charles any advance notice of Prince Andrew's arrest. I thought that was pretty. Um, I thought that was pretty wild, right? The fact that they did not give the king a heads up, right? Um, I don't know that. Now, King Charles put out a statement already, and he said, "quote the law must take its course," right? And so, right, but that is wild, right? What's up, Daphne? So he put out a statement and he said the law must take its course, but they absolutely did not give him a heads up at all. King Charles said that the police, quote, have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Um, um, Virginia Giuffre's family, I am so happy for them. This morning, I immediately, with the arrest of Prince Andrew, I immediately thought of Virginia Giuffre. Um, and her family released a statement that just said, that his arrest proves that no one is above the law. Good morning, CJ. And you shared their statement this morning, Amy. Yeah. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So, do you all know kind of what part of this investigation, is about with Prince Andrew? So here's what part of the problem is. Well, hold on a second because they're giving an update. So let me just look really quickly. Um, Good gosh, they're going. Um, wow. The former First Minister of Scotland actually put out on X saying, "quote Due process matters, but so does accountability. For far too long, wealth, titles, and status have protected them. It is down to the bravery of Epstein victims like Virginia Giuffre that there is some strength on those who associated with him. Let's hope there's also justice." We love that. So there were. I know it is sad that she did not. It is sad that she wasn't here to see this. Um, it really is sad that she's not here to see this. Um, but yeah, this is literally kind of like uncharted waters. I know. Listen, it seems like in the last 5 years we have said the words unprecedented more than in my entire lifetime. But this arrest of Prince Andrew really is unprecedented. Good morning. Thank you, Tech Lady. I appreciate that. I am mighty ho, watching and smiling. So yeah, I decided to come on a little early this morning. And so I am really excited to see this. So let me just give you what former Prime Minister Gordon Brown said. I have submitted a 5-page memorandum to the Metropolitan, Surrey, Sussex, Thames Valley, and other relevant UK police constabularies. This memorandum provides new and additional information to that which I submitted last week to the Met, Essex, and Thames Valley police forces, where I expressed my concern that we secure justice for trafficked girls and women. Wow. Um, Geez. I'm pretty I'm pretty astounded by the reaction of the prime ministers and the former prime ministers all throughout the UK who are just speaking out. So, Sunflower Fish, I know you are not asking me about some futuristic thing. Do I think that Trump will one day be brought down? I don't even know what that means to like be brought down. But let me give you this. So this is what King Charles had to say. He says, this is the statement from King Charles. He says, quote, I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Wow. Um, yeah. So they're doing a lot of other things today, but I'm really Buckingham Palace said that they stand ready to support the police. And so yeah, so this is where we are. Um, this is what um, Mhm. So this is what Virginia Giuffre's family said. Right, okay, Charles, right? Um, oh, Heidi, I don't think the monarchy is falling. They already stripped him of his titles and pushed him out of the way a long time ago. I think they anticipated this day was coming, and I think the monarchy will be the monarchy, right? Um, but we'll see. So this is what Virginia Giuffre's family said, quote, "At last, today our broken hearts have been lifted with the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, we extend our gratitude to the UK's Thames Valley Police in their investigation and arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you." Wow, that's an awesome statement. Yeah. So, what your husband hates what phrase, Helen? Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Pin Tin Tin. Okay, so just to kind of give you a little bit more, okay? So, oh, is above the law. Is that the one? Why did that just happen? Is that the one, Helen? Your husband hates the phrase "no one is above the law." So yeah, right, Angie Rock. But let me tell you what part of this is. So there was a point in time, and let me pull it up so I can give you the info. So one of the reasons that good morning, Danny. One of the reasons that this arrest is happening is it's not just about the trafficking or the SA or any of that. It's not just about that. It is about the fact that there were emails between David Stern, who was Prince Andrew's assistant, right? And it suggests those emails suggest that Prince Andrew was using his role as a special UK representative for trade and investment to further his own business interests. Good morning, Bethy, the lefty. And so these emails date back all the way to 2010. And Andrew was the trade envoy, and he held that title from 2001 to 2011. And so that's part of what this criminal investigation is about. Hey, Jay Nice. I am well. I am absolutely well. Well, this isn't the UK, right? And so good morning, Bittersweet. Good morning, Lonnie. And so that is part of what this investigation is about. So it's not just about the girls or Virginia Giuffre. It's also about the misconduct in his role. And this is the way I look at that, folks, because sometimes when good morning, Spence, sometimes when they cannot bring charges in one manner, they will bring them in another, right? I think about Capone all the time when they couldn't get him for, Rico and being the mob. They got his ass for tax evasion, right? So I think yeah, so and this is my thing, you guys. I believe that yeah, you get them however you can. Now, may there be more to come? Absolutely. We'll see as time goes on. But I think that it's really important that they took this step, because I can promise you the police did not take this step lightly, right? Good morning, Em. Good morning, James. There's no way, right? You would have to admit, you all, no matter what you say or what you think. Oh, I'm jealous, Linka. But there's no way. You know what I mean? This is a hefty thing to do. Um, yeah, so I don't know if Prince Andrew is going to talk and tell and speak. I will tell you what. Right, they wouldn't have arrested a former royal without significant evidence, 100%. And especially not giving the royal family a heads up. You know what I mean? Um, and so I just think that this is significant. I think that as this continues, you're going to see things. France has said unequivocally they are investigating anybody and anything that was done on their soil. People will be held accountable for. And so this is the one part that does make me a little like hopeful, right? Because we focus on the things that happen in Palm Beach and the things that happen in New York, right? And we know there were ranches in New Mexico and one other place, right? But there were things that happened overseas, right? There were things that happened overseas in other places. And so it just makes me wonder what where this might be able to go, um, given how Europe is behaving. And I don't know if anybody has thought about this or not. Um, yeah, the victims are international too. Yeah, like he bought the one girl from she was 15. Yeah, Sarah, we're talking about it. But so let me just say this, you all. So I don't know if anybody has thought about the position this may give European countries with the way that they deal with the United States of America. The United States of America has come to Europe and said, like, what did Marco Rubio said? Marco Rubio said, we don't want to, but we are prepared to go this alone. And, we want Europe to come along with this and da 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 da, da, right? And so I'm wondering if anyone has thought about the fact that these files may give means and ways for yeah, thanks Veronica, for European countries to get at some of the American players, right? Anything that transpired on their soil or with their victims from their countries and there was involvement, like, it just makes you wonder how they might be able to utilize this to their advantage, to level the playing field where the country is concerned. And so I immediately thought about that this morning, as I start to see this really play out. Also, let me finish this real quick. So the other piece of this too is the folks in Norway. So I'll tell you the deal. Good morning, Blue Honey Pot. What's up, Farah? What's up, Nico? What do you mean in regards to that? Can you clarify? Yeah, sure. So this is what I'm saying. So think about this. So we don't know what all is in the files, and we don't know what is in the files that Europe has, right? We don't know. They have the same ability that the United States of America does. Appreciate you, Veronica, right? They have the same ability that we do to confiscate emails and to get communications and all of that. And so one of the things that is interesting to me, right, is, we have files that are redacted, but they have files that I'm sure are not redacted, right? So every communication that we would have between Prince Andrew and Jeffrey, they would have, right? Because it would be coming from them. So they have things, any communication that has come from across the pond, or to people that are in there, right? They would have access to all that information. And that includes anything coming from people here in the States. That includes anything from people here in the States. Right. So the same way. So like one of the emails that I read a little bit ago was talking about going to Paris. Right. And things like that. And so I think about, if there were meetings in Paris and there were different things like that, yeah, they could absolutely piece together what's redacted here with what they have there. 100%. And you think about it, just because you live here in the States, if your ass committed crimes over there, you could absolutely be held accountable. And so you wonder about some of these big and powerful and very rich people. Did they do things over there? Appreciate you, Doc. Did they? I don't know if they did or not, but I just wondered what position our European countries may be in with regard to the US and some of our big players and our billionaires and so forth and so on. So it just makes me go, we'll just see. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was my thought, but I want to share this with you guys about the folks in Norway. Okay, so So Mona Jewel resigned as ambassador to Jordan and Iraq on Sunday, days after she was suspended following Norwegian media reports that each of her children, listen to this, each of her children would receive $5 million in a will allegedly signed by Epstein days before he died. So her children were left $10 million, $5 million each in Jeffrey's will. And so she resigned. She was the ambassador to Jordan and Iraq for Norway. And so she resigned after those reports came out. And so emails released in the quote unquote Epstein files also appear to show that her husband, Terje Rod Larson, had dinner with Epstein in Paris in June of 2019, weeks before his arrest in the US on the trafficking charges, right? Yeah, Linda, there's nothing to indicate that they were victims. There's been nothing to indicate that they were victims, and there's a process that victims go through. Victims weren't left things in his will. Victims were given money. There was a specific fund that was set aside for victims, and those victims received that money, and they signed an NDA at the same time. So these people being left money in a will is not an indication that they were victims at all, right? It would more seem like Jennifer and her children in thanks for whatever she and her husband may have done, right? But anyway, just weeks before Jeffrey was arrested in the US, her husband had lunch with him in Paris. Her lawyers, good morning, Veronica. Her lawyers say, quote, she does not recognize the accusations made against her. I don't even know what does that mean? What does that mean? Quote, does not recognize the accusations made against her. So you just are oblivious to them. You want to just like, oh, I'm just not going to acknowledge it. Like, I don't recognize it. I'm not going to look at it. I don't see it. It's not a thing. Like, I don't recognize. Like, maybe I should try that. The next time my electric bill comes, I'm just going to say, I don't recognize the allegations. I don't recognize the bill being sent to me. I don't recognize. I wonder if that works. I don't recognize. But that's what she said. She said, right, Ellen, I do not receive that. But she said, quote, she does not recognize the accusations made against her. And her husband said he is confident the investigation will clarify, quote, there is no basis for criminal liability. Okay. And of course they say appearing in the files is not an indication of wrongdoing. But check this out. So I'm just saying, yeah. So, okay. So an aggravated corruption inquiry has been launched by the Norwegian Economic Crime Unit. That's what the police announced on Monday. So, oh, thanks, Bethy Lefty. And so, yeah, so it says an aggravated corruption inquiry has been launched by the Norwegian Economic Crime Unit. And it says that they will, among other things, investigate whether benefits were received in connection with her position, referring to Jewel. A property that she has in Oslo has also been searched in connection with the investigation. And they were, listen to this. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Are you guys ready? Do you know who she is? She and her husband were part of a small group of diplomats that negotiated the Oslo Accords between Israel and Palestine. Hey, Miguel. I almost fell out of my chair when I read that. So she and her husband were part of a small group of diplomats that negotiated the 1993 to 1995 Oslo Accords. And that was between Israel and Palestine. And we know that Jeffrey was with Israeli intelligence. We know that he had connections to Israeli intelligence. Right. So I think that it's really like noteworthy that that connection is there. Hey, Martin, right? And I don't know why more people aren't talking about that connection. So, Norwegian media reports that Rod Larson, her husband, had extensive communication with Epstein and arranged to meet him with Jewel more than once. The wider Epstein documents released by the US DOJ last month contain millions of private emails, images, and FBI reports. Da 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 da. Jewel is the latest prominent public figure from the Nordic country to be drawn into the widening scandal surrounding the contents of the files, including Crown Princess Mette-Marit, right? Former Prime Minister toward how do you say his name? Thorborn Jagland, and the chief executive. He was the chief executive. Ugh, he's the former prime minister of Norway, and then the chief executive of the World Economic Forum, Borge Brende. So, like, that's a whole slew of them. That's like 5 people from the Nordic country that have been tied to having extensive communication. No, and Prince Andrew has been arrested, but that's it. So, Mette-Marit gave a profound apology to Norwegians for her friendship with Epstein after it emerged that they had exchanged messages for years. And then Jagland, who is also the former head of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, is being investigated over his alleged links to Epstein. His lawyer said that they would fully cooperate with the police. And then the World Economic Forum ordered an independent review into Brende, who also served as the Norwegian foreign minister, over his interactions with Jeffrey. So Brende acknowledged that he dined with Epstein 3 times in 2018 and 2019 and communicated with him by email and text. He said that he welcomes them launching a review. So holy geez, right? It's just a lot. Yes, Lulu Bell, I am. Good morning. So, yeah, the web connection is absolutely wild. Morning, Lori. Good to see you. Hey, Charlene. Yeah, so we'll see, right, Charlene? It is weird, wild, and crazy. Yeah, maybe. But it's really interesting when you see all of the connections. I need to go right here really quickly and so I am a fan of The Guardian. I like the way The Guardian reports, right? Hi, Mafioso Mama. What's up, No Joke? Okay, so I'm a fan of The Guardian, and I don't know if you all know, but they're the UK, and they literally are doing updates. There's a timeline across the top of their page as this rolls out this morning, so let me see if they're saying what I just said. Yeah, so police are searching both of his residences in Berkshire and in Norfolk. And this is what I said. It is about the UK trade envoy. Yep. So it appears that the documents that were in the emails, right? What's up, Nini? I love that you're over on the tube. Okay, so listen. So in the emails, it appears that the former prince forwarded sensitive government documents and commercial information to Jeffrey. In 2010, he appears to have forwarded government reports from visits to Vietnam, Singapore, and China to Epstein. And the documents also appear to show that Andrew forwarded him information on investment opportunities in gold and uranium in Afghanistan. Andrew served as the UK trade envoy between 2001 and 2011. Hey, Banana Nana. Under official guidance, trade envoys have a duty of confidentiality over sensitive commercial or political information about their official visits. Yeah, so that's more information than we had. So when I read the ABC News report, they didn't have that level of detail in it. So they just mentioned him maybe using his position as the trade envoy They did not say that he forwarded sensitive information, including investment opportunities in gold and uranium in Afghanistan or government reports from Vietnam, Singapore, and China. That's just absolutely wild. But also not surprising. Also not surprising, right? I think that, and this is the thing. I think that there have been people for a really long time that have been in positions of power, and our governments have conducted themselves in such a manner that people believe they were just untouchable. They could do a thing because a thing has always been done. And the difference is that the corruption that used to exist, let's just say 30 or 40 years ago, right? The corruption that used to exist 30 or 40 years ago is different today. And the reason why is with the advancement of technology, thanks, Big Casey, with the advancement of technology comes the ability to track this information and to make it much harder to hide. It becomes much more difficult to keep under wraps. You know what I mean? And so I don't think that people really truly understand that when they say everything, nothing's ever really deleted. Nothing's ever really deleted. You know what I mean? And so it really does become much more difficult to hide the corruption if you were involved in it. And so the things that you used to be able to get away with 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, you're not going to be able to get away with as easily in this day and time. Things just change, right? Are y'all really talking to Billy? Please tell me that you're not. Please tell me that you're not talking to Billy. He's been trying to get y'all's attention all morning. And y'all see how I'm just looking over Billy? Billy's tried everything he can try since he's been in here. He's done talked about everything from Republicans to Europe to Democrats to the Clintons to Obama. Listen, that joker, he's trying to say something to get people to interact with him. Ain't nobody talking to him. Ain't nobody got time. None at all. But it is wild for and so here's my thing, right? We do not recognize Billy. Exactly, Ellen. We do not recognize Billy. That was good, Ellen. That was good. Okay, so this is the thing that but this is how desperate they are. Folks, I don't know if you all get this. It may be I do drink coffee. I wish I had some, but I don't. Oh, thanks, Lisa Lou. Appreciate that. It's so funny to me. So Billy just said he exists in my mind. You are in my life. You exist in my life because you chose to be here, which means I existed in your mind first because you came to me. The Dani derangement syndrome is for real. The DDS is for real. The Dani derangement syndrome. It's horrible. It's so bad. You've got a bad case of DDS. Yes, Nader, they did. I'm just saying DDS, y'all. That's what it is now. Every time the trolls come in, that's what I'm going to say is DDS. You got DDS. Yeah. Good morning, Leo. Right, Jamie. Poor little Tink Tink. Poor little Tink Tink. All right. So I think that one of the things that we're going to see as this plays out, right? We're going to see pressure on the U.S. to do something, right? Thanks, Carla. We're going to see more pressure on the U.S. to do something. And, Massey has already said this is personal for him now. He's not letting it go, right? And I think the more that this happens, right, the more that this transpires, it will put us in a position, hey, Max, that something will have to happen. And the thing is, oh, okay, Mac, I got you. No worries. And the thing is, so let me just say this to you all. A couple of things are happening all at the same time. Okay. We are no longer at the place where if you did not get a Trump endorsement, you couldn't win an election. We are no longer at the place where if you get a Trump endorsement, you're automatically going to win. We're no longer there. We were there 2 to 3 years ago. We are not there today. We're not there anymore. Right? And so this is the part that's important. So he has lost some of his value to the GOP because the value was his base. The value was his base. They don't need him anymore. They already have the White House. Y'all follow me? They already have the White House. JD Vance is already the VP. They know that he is loyal and will do whatever they wish. What's up, happy girl? And so understand if push comes to shove, right? And it becomes absolutely abroad, they will put him out to pasture. The more he becomes a burden, they will put him out to pasture. Like real talk, because he will no longer serve their purpose. And as a matter of fact, he will be dragging the party down. And you have to understand the party has a lot of problems right now. The Republican Party has several problems. So one, they have the e-files. That's a problem, right? That's one big problem. Okay. Two, right? Two, there's a split amongst their younger base, especially with the folks that are in Turning Point USA, but also in some of their older base, right? There is a split within the GOP for those that are absolutely loyal to Israel and those that are not. What's up, Shell? Right? Did y'all know that in Texas, they actually made it part of the law that if you are criticizing Israel directly, that means that you are anti-Semitic and you're violating law? Like it's a law that you can't criticize Israel in Florida. DeSantis made that law. So hold on, let me show you. Whoops. All right, so good gosh. Yeah, so, and by the way, DeSantis signed it in Israel. He went to Israel to sign it. Let me just he went to Israel to sign it. Okay, so April 28th, 2023. I'm reading it directly from, hold on. I'm reading it from DeSantis's website. So let me just show you. Hold on. So I'm going to pull you guys over here so you can see it as well. Because yeah, this is where we are. Okay, so here it is. Governor Ron DeSantis signs legislation in Israel, further combating anti-Semitism. No, I said Florida. Florida is what I said. And DeSantis. Okay, so this is the document. Okay, and And here's what it says. It says today, Governor Ron DeSantis visited Israel as part of his international trade mission, where he signed House Bill 269 to provide law enforcement agencies with new enforcement mechanisms to punish perpetrators of anti-Semitic incidents and those who target religious communities. When you read the bill, hold on, I'm going to pull it up for you. So, yeah, no, Florida and DeSantis. Florida and DeSantis. Y'all, people misspeak all the time. Florida. Got it. Listen, folks. Yeah, nobody's in the bill. Hold on, Johnny Rico. I'm going to pull up the bill for you. I'm going to pull it up for you so that you can see it. Whoops. Hold on. Hold on one second. I need, oh, wait, is that it? Let me see if this is the full thing or not, because that's what I need. I need the full thing. So give me 1 second. Good morning, Jody. Good morning. 1 second. Let me see if this is the full thing or not. No, this is the proclamation. It's literally titled Israel's Independence Day from Governor Ron DeSantis. Wow. Yeah. He did a proclamation for Israel's Independence Day. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay, so now I want to see if this is it. I want the actual bill, please. I don't want to see all the steps. I want to see the actual bill. That's what I would like to see, please. And thank you. Oh, you got to click and click and click and click to find what you're looking for. That is not what I want. Hold on, folks. Let me see if I can find it this way. Sometimes if you change the keywords, you can find what you want. Let me see if it will give me. Why, Jeff? Are you interested? They always tickle me. The Dani derangement syndrome. Y'all worry about my privates a whole lot. Y'all ask questions every day about what I do with my privates. I'm not interested. I am not on the market. Like, what are you ready? What are you doing? Like, holy geez. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, y'all, Jeff came in over here and was like, all right, Dani, are you trans? Why? Are you interested? Do you want to know what I have or what I don't? You know? The DDS is wild, right? Oh my gosh, could I get to just the whole ass bill, please? Can I have the whole bill? Oh my God. No, it doesn't let me. Oh. Okay, let me see. Maybe this is it. Oh, this is when it was being edited, so this is not going to work for me. Crap. I'll find it and put it in the link tree because I don't know why Florida's got it hidden from me, but I can't find it. Yeah, Salam Abdul. How are you? It's just funny to me, right? The Republican men, the MAGA men that come in my life, right, have got to be the most sexually oriented people I've ever seen. Like, it's just weird. Like, they are obsessed. Right. They are obsessed. It's crazy. It's very weird. Meanwhile, over the next 8 years, we're going to lose almost $1 trillion in Medicaid funding. Yeah, why? Are you interested? Right, exactly. I mean, why else are you asking? Why else are you asking? It's just weird. Tell me you're a 40-year-old virgin without telling me you're a 40-year-old virgin. Good God. It's just weird. It is very weird. Just saying. Okay, let me see. I was looking to see. They're not linking to the bill here either. They're not linking here to it either. That gets on my nerves. I want to see the whole last thing because I watched it earlier and had the bill pulled up. Don't know where it is now. It was in the way they defined anti-Semitism. And I'll have to find it. Oh, see, this is the edited version or whatever. Let me just see. Boom, 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 boom. Well, hell. There's another bill. There's another one. HB 1072. I'll find it and put it in the link tree. Because maybe, is this it? Ha! Hold on. Oh, maybe I finally found what I'm looking for. No, I'm not muted. Just go out and come back in. Somebody needs to tell real Helen to go back in. Yeah. So, you saw the light bulb go on? Yeah. So, there's a whole bunch of things. Accusing Jewish people as a collective or Israel as a state of inventing or exaggerating the Holocaust, accusing Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jewish individuals worldwide. denying Jewish people their right to self-determination, such as claiming that the existence of the state of Israel is a racist endeavor, applying double standards by requiring of the Jewish state of Israel a standard of behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation. Like, it's literally, Israel is mentioned in this thing about 6 different times. So it is in the, if you go to the 2025 Florida statutes, 1.015, anti-Semitism. That is how they define it, amongst other things. So point E, point F, point G, point H, point K, point 4, all refer to Israel specifically. So this is 2025 Florida statutes 1.015. And this is how the Florida statute defines anti-Semitism. Okay. And so it tells you all of these different things of what it means, of how they define anti-Semitism. And all of those points, about 6 of them, specifically mention Israel. Yeah. So there you go. Finally, I had to find it. It's the Florida statutes 1.015, and it's how they define anti-Semitism. But I just think that it's absolutely asinine that a governor is going to Israel to sign legislation. Since when do we travel to foreign countries to sign legislation? Right, on US tax dollars, Cam, right? In what world? Between Cruz and DeSantis, Florida might as well just become another part of Israel. Between Cruz and DeSantis, wait, Ted Cruz is Texas, right? That's why I said Texas earlier. Because I'm thinking Ted Cruz, but I'm talking Ron DeSantis. That's why. That's where Texas came from, is because Ted Cruz said he joined Congress specifically for the purpose of being the most pro-Israel senator there is in Congress. Raphael literally said that very thing, talking to Tucker. And so I think it's really wild that, and so this is what I'm saying. So this is why, right, that's exactly why. And this is the thing, you all, right, Raphael. This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. This is where the crack is within the GOP. The crack within the GOP is because there are those that are really upset about, because they are part of the America First, right? Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is America First all the way, right? I'm not sure, Jody, to be honest, but I want you, so check this out. She is America First, and the America First people are not down with the Republican Party's loyalty to Israel. They are not down for it. And it was one of the things that Charlie Kirk and especially the male members of Turning Point USA really had an issue with. If you started to notice, they would show up at different events and they would ask the questions. They would ask, how come the state of Israel was allowed to bomb the USS Liberty in 1967 and nothing happened? And nothing happened. There was no retaliation. There was no shock and awe. There was nothing done in return, right? And the veterans are still talking about that. The veterans who were on that ship are still talking about that. It shouldn't matter to people that, for example, Iran does not have nukes. They don't. Israel does. Israel does. They have an estimated 80 to 400 big boom booms. They have an estimated 80 to 400. And you would think we should know the number. We don't know the number because unlike Iran, who allows inspectors in, they do not. Israel does not allow inspectors in. So we don't know the number that they have. It's absolutely wild. The double standard that is applied is just out of control. You know? And it's really important. Chris, be careful. Be careful calling people that in the chat. Okay, Don Juan. No worries. I'm just saying be careful. But it's really important that folks, like, these are just like facts. And the thing is, there was an agreement. You did not know about that boat? There's a whole website. So veterans put together a website. Hold on. There's a website. It's called ussliberty.org. And this is from the USS Liberty Veterans Associations. You can go to that website. You can find out about the veterans that were on the boat. You can find out the veterans who survived the boat. And they talk about it. They've got videos where they talk about feeling abandoned by their country because they were on that boat and our country did nothing for them. Nothing. It's known as the 6-Day War. And they knew who we were. They knew who we were. And those veterans feel absolutely abandoned, and they should. And they should, because they were. The country did nothing to protect them, absolutely nothing. But you can read about it and learn more about it at ussliberty.org. It's literally on the Navy's website. If you go to www.history.navy.mil, there's like if you go like /Middle East, middle.east /6-day-war, all that, it's there. No, it's nothing like withdrawing from Afghanistan. It's nothing like withdrawing from Afghanistan, because when we withdrew from Afghanistan in 2021, we were in an impossible situation because of the previous administration. Like, if you have not read the Inspector General reports from 2020, you can't speak about our Afghanistan withdrawal. If you have not read every single one of the Inspector General reports from 2020, you're not qualified to speak about how we withdrew. They were all active duty bad guys. When the USS Liberty was hit, they were active duty in 1967. So this is the reality. If you all don't know how that transpired. So let me just be clear. I did a whole thing about this. I'm trying to see, where did I write it up? Give me a second. Would you all like a rundown? Let me ask this question. Put a 1 in the chat if you are not familiar with what happened in 2020 and how the Trump administration, Trump specifically, took us down the most horrible path ever and left Joe Biden in an unwinnable situation that cost 13 American lives. Okay. So we'll go through it. Give me 1 second. Let me close this out. I got 20,000 tabs open now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to leave that one up and I'm going to go here. All right, so give me a second. All right. So I'm going to go through this with you guys and give you the actual reports along the way. All right. So here's the timeline. Are you ready? You love a good Dani recap? Here we go. Yeah, I agree, Paul Prince. I agree. So one of the things that I know is that there were things in I have moderators abroad, but so here's the thing. Sometimes if you mute and block too many, it's bad for the algorithm. So I just tell people put on blinders and ignore them. Okay, so here we go. So February 29th of 2020, this is when the US and the Taliban sign an agreement that sets the terms for US withdrawal from Afghanistan by May 1st, 2021. But it does not release two classified annexes that set the conditions for that withdrawal. Now, at the time that we entered into this agreement, we had 13,000 troops in Afghanistan. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this agreement. So let me share here. I'm going to share my screen, Happy Girl. I'm going to share with you guys over here the document. Give me one sec. And for you guys that are watching on TikTok, this document is in my link tree. Okay. So give me a second. Yes. All right. So that is the document there that I'm sharing with you guys. Matter of fact, let me do that and I'll make it a little, is this bigger? Will it let me do that? It said it would let me scroll it, but it's not. I am dragging it to move it. You're not letting me. Oh, well, I tried. All right. So listen, here's what it goes. All right. Here's what it says. So when we entered into this agreement on February 29th, this is the craziest thing ever. We entered into an agreement with the Taliban. It was February 29th of 2020. So this is Trump's last year in office. Okay. And we had 13,000 troops in Afghanistan at the time. And what's crazy is we made this agreement about our withdrawal from Afghanistan, but we did not include the Afghani government in this agreement. We made an agreement with the Taliban, but did not include the Afghani government in this agreement. Okay. So this is what it says. It says that we will not, let me just give you the meat of it. It says, after the announcement of guarantees for a complete withdrawal of foreign forces and timeline in the presence of international witnesses and guarantees and the announcement in the presence of international witnesses that Afghan soil will not be used against the security of the United States and its allies, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, which is not recognized by the United States as a state and is known as the Taliban, will start intra-Afghan negotiations with Afghan sides on March 10th, 2020. So listen, the Taliban, in agreement with this, the Taliban is supposed to begin negotiations with Afghanistan on March the 10th of 2020. You will come to later learn that they don't do that until September of 2020. But they signed this agreement saying that they will begin negotiations with Afghanistan March 10th. So we signed this February 29th of 2020. Okay. And here's what it says. So the withdrawal of our troops is contingent upon, and this is a quote from the document, quote, Taliban's action against al-Qaeda and other terrorists who could threaten us, right? That's what Trump says in this speech. And the pact includes that, well, let me read this part from it. So the United States is committed to withdraw from Afghanistan all military forces of the United States, its allies, and coalition partners, including all non-diplomatic civilian personnel, private security contractors, trainers, advisors, and supporting services personnel within 14 months following the announcement of this agreement, and will take the following measures in this regard. The United States and its allies and the coalition will take the following measures in the first 135 days. They will reduce the number of U.S. forces in Afghanistan to 8,600 and proportionally bring reduction in the number of its allies and coalition forces. The United States, its allies, and coalitions will withdraw all their forces from 5 military bases. Right now, what was their responsibility? What was the Taliban's responsibility? A permanent and comprehensive ceasefire will be an item on the agenda of the inter-Afghan dialogue and negotiations. They were not supposed to take any action against the United States or our allies, either one. Okay. Don't try to deflect, Billy. We're going to talk facts. We're going to talk about the agreement that was done by Donald Trump in 2020 and the fact that his agreement cost the lives of 13 military personnel. So the withdrawal of the troops was contingent, right, upon several different things. Now, on March 1st, so follow this, the next damn day, the president of Afghanistan objects to a provision in the agreement because the agreement said that we would release that we would have Afghanistan release 5,000 Taliban prisoners. Now, this is what's crazy. What gave Donald Trump the authority to speak for the Afghanistan government that he did not include in these negotiations and say to the Taliban that the Afghanistani government would release 5,000 Taliban prisoners? He has no authority to say that. He has no authority to say that. Right? This is crazy. So they exclude Afghanistan from the negotiations, but then promise that Afghanistan is going to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners. So this is what the Afghani president says. He says, quote, "Freeing Taliban prisoners is not under the authority of America, but the authority of the Afghan government. There has been no commitment for the release of 5,000 prisoners." Okay. Yes, he invited the Taliban to Camp David. Correct. During the first administration. Now follow me. March 4th, Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, Mark Milley, tells the Senate Armed Services Committee that the Taliban pledged in the classified documents not to attack U.S. troops and coalition forces or launch high-profile attacks, including in Afghan's 34 provincial capitals. Quote, "The Taliban have signed up to a whole series of conditions. All members of Congress have all the documents associated with this agreement. Despite that agreement," listen to this, despite that agreement, the Taliban attacked Afghan forces in Helmand Province, and the U.S. responds with an airstrike. So we are 5 days after this agreement has been signed, and the Taliban has already violated the agreement. So at that point, that should have been the end of the agreement. At that point, we're done because we're not even 5 days in. We're not even 5 days in. They have violated the agreement. We've had to respond with airstrikes. That should be the end. But it wasn't the end. He continued with this agreement. On March 10th, under pressure from the U.S., Afghanistan releases 1,500 Taliban prisoners at the rate of 100 per day. So 100 Taliban prisoners gets released every single day for 15 days. That was on March 10th. What's up, Macaroni? Tell Sue I said hi. So February 29th, we enter into an agreement with the Taliban. We don't include the Afghanistan government. March 4th, General Milley stands in front of the Senate Armed Services Committee and says the Taliban has promised not to attack Afghanistan, us, our allies, or anybody in any of the 34 Afghanistan provincial capitals. And guess what? They do the same damn day. Salam, alaikum salam, Mo, right? They do. And then we have to respond with airstrikes. And then 6 days later, we pressure the Afghanistan government to release 1,500 of their prisoners. And they do at a rate of 100 per day for 15 days. So May the 19th, this is when the Inspector General's office outlines what's happened in the first 3 months of this agreement. Are you ready? So let me share this with you guys. Replace with this. So this is the OIG report. It is crazy stuff, Dragon. It is. So check this out. So in this report by the OIG, it was publicly released May 19th of 2020. Okay. And it says, I'm reading directly from the document. This report covers the period of January 1 through March 31st of 2020. Although U.S. and Taliban representatives signed an agreement on February the 29th as a first step toward ending the conflict, a number of events occurred that raised questions over whether the peace process would take place. Taliban violence continued at high levels, even during a negotiated week-long reduction in violence that led to the agreement signing. The Taliban limited violence against coalition forces, but increased attacks against the Afghan National Defense and Security Forces during this period. The Taliban escalated further violence after signing the agreement. U.S. forces defended the Afghan National Defense and Security Services against the Taliban. The U.S. officials stated the Taliban must reduce violence as a necessary condition for continued U.S. reduction in forces, and that remaining high levels of violence could jeopardize the U.S. Taliban agreement. Even still, listen to this, the United States began to reduce its forces in Afghanistan from roughly 13,000 to 8,600. So I want to be clear. In the first two and a half months, are you ready? In the first 2 months and 2.5 months, actually 2 months, right? We signed it February 29th. Shit. We signed it February 29th. Yeah. So in 2 months' time, we pressured Afghanistan to give the Taliban back 1,500 of their prisoners. So we gave the Taliban their fighters back, 1,500 of them. And then we reduced our forces by 4,400. So we weakened our positioning in Afghanistan while the Taliban continued their escalated violence. How is that smart? How is that wise? Because it's not. From a military perspective, that is not smart. You are giving your enemy their troops back while you reduce yours. Why would you do that? Especially when your enemy is not adhering to the terms of the agreement. No, Bison, that wasn't the problem. The problem came all the way back a year in advance. No, you didn't. We didn't have to show we were serious about withdrawal until the Taliban showed they were serious about not committing violence. We don't show that we're serious about withdrawing while you are still attacking. No, we don't. No, we don't. Absolutely not. If you are still escalating violence, we don't withdraw our troops and leave our people that are there vulnerable. Absolutely not. Yeah. Fucking nuts. So anyway, next. No, Bison, listen. By the time Joe Biden took office, we were completely fucked. And I'm going to tell you how, if you'll shut up and learn something. I like facts over here, not partisan bullshit. I like facts. No, not true, Bison. Trump caved. They catered to his ego. Buenos dias, Mr. Barrios. The only president that I know of that invited terrorists to the Camp David. So fast forward. That's the first Office of the Inspector General report, right? That came out in May. It was made public in May. The next OIG report came out August the 18th. August the 18th, that report covered activity from April 1st to June 30th. Listen to this report. Hold on, let me show you. That's April 1st to June 30th. I got you guys. Yes, Joe, they arrested. He's not the prince anymore, Joe. He was stripped of his titles. But yes, they arrested Prince Andrew. Yes. So this is the second report. Okay. This is the second report. And it says the United States reduced its forces in Afghanistan to 8,600 military members, the first step toward a full withdrawal under the terms of the February 29th agreement with the Taliban. The United States committed to making a complete withdrawal by April of 2021. If the Taliban committed to preventing terrorists from using Afghanistan to threaten the U.S. or its allies and holding peace talks with the Afghan government. The Taliban did not appear to uphold its commitment to distance itself from terrorist organizations in Afghanistan. UN and U.S. officials reported that the Taliban continued to support al-Qaeda and conducted joint attacks with al-Qaeda against Afghan national defense and security forces. The United States also committed to act as a facilitator in pursuing the release of prisoners held by the Afghan government. The Taliban and the Afghan government failed to reach consensus on the release of prisoners during the quarter. While the Taliban ceased attacks against the U.S. and coalition targets, it has increased the frequency of attacks against Afghan security forces and the Afghan government. The increased violence and dispute over prisoner releases were significant barriers to the Afghan government and the Taliban beginning peace negotiations, and it delayed the planned March 10th start to the negotiations. Again, they are still supporting al-Qaeda. They are still joining in attacks with al-Qaeda. We have no business reducing our troops because they are not adhering to the agreement at all. Jeez, oh Pete. Next, on September the 3rd, Afghanistan releases the final 400 Taliban prisoners. Crazy. September 12th of 2020, after 7 months of delays, they finally meet in Qatar for their peace talks. So the Taliban and Afghanistan, good morning, Natasha, they meet in Qatar for peace talks in September. Those peace talks were supposed to begin in March. September 16th, listen to this. While they're in Qatar for these peace talks, guess what happens? The Taliban continued attacks on government forces. Voice of America reported that, quote, Taliban attacks in 3 provinces across northern Afghanistan since Tuesday unalived 17 people, including 6 civilians, and wounded scores of others, even as the Taliban political team was in Qatar negotiating peace. So I'm sorry, we were supposed to do what? We were supposed to do what? So by this point, listen to how crazy things are. Listen to how crazy this is. By September of 2020, the United States of America has forced Afghanistan to give the Taliban back 5,000 of their prisoners. We have reduced our prisoners all the way down to 8,600. So we've reduced our troops by 4,400, and we've given the Taliban back 5,000 of their troops. And at no point during this time has the Taliban stopped working with Al Qaeda, stopped terrorizing people and doing attacks in the provinces. At no time. And while their political team is in Qatar negotiating peace, they unalived 17 people, including civilians. This is in 2020. I do not want to hear about what happened in 2021 when Joe Biden was handled an impossible situation. And this is about to get even worse because come November, even Senate Republicans were telling Donald Trump to not do this. Good morning, Sandy. So September 18th, listen, this is how crazy this dude lives in some other fucking world. So September 16th is when they unalive 17 people, right? And wound scores of others. September 18th, 2 days later, Donald Trump's at a press conference and here's what he says, quote, "We're dealing very well with the Taliban. They're very tough. They're very smart. They're very sharp. But you know, it's been 19 years and even they are tired of fighting in all fairness." Tell that to the families of the 17 people they just unalived 2 fucking days ago. Delusional. Delusional. Just not in reality at all. That was September 18th. Y'all hanging in there with me? Because holy shit, it's a lot, right? So let me keep going. So November the 16th, this is really, really wild. You ready? Listen to this. November 16th of 2020, congressional Republicans respond to news reports that the Trump administration will rapidly reduce forces in Afghanistan. They warn of what then Senator Marco Rubio said. He called it a quote unquote Saigon type of situation in Afghanistan. Quote, this is what Mitch McConnell said, quote, "A rapid withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan now would hurt our allies and delight the people who wish us harm." That's what Mitch McConnell said, November 16th of 2020. That's November 16th. November 17th, Christopher Miller, the acting Secretary of Defense, announces that we're going to reduce our troops to 2,500 by January 15th, 5 days before Joe Biden is supposed to take office. Why? Why? There was no need. There was no need to reduce our troops to 2,500 in 2 months' time, unless you wanted to set the incoming president up for failure. Because the agreement said we didn't have to do that for 135 days. We had until April. On the very same day that Christopher Miller announced they were going to reduce our troops by 2,500, that's the point, Billy. It was after the election. That's the fucking point. That's the point. It came directly after the election. And so on that same day, November 17th, the Office of the Inspector General, he couldn't, Celia. We didn't have a leg to stand on. We couldn't back out. We only had 2,500 troops there. We only had 2,500 troops. We gave the Taliban back 5,000 of their prisoners, of their troops. How are we going to back out? What's he going to do? Put more boots on the ground and have the American people freak the fuck out? He was in a lose-lose situation. On the same day, that Christopher Miller announces we're going to reduce our troops rapidly to 2,500 in January, right? The Office of the Inspector General releases their third report. And here's what it says. It says, on September 12th, the Afghan peace negotiations began when the Afghan Islamic Republic negotiating team met with Taliban representatives in Doha, Qatar. Initial talks focused on procedural rules, and both sides agreed to most points. However, negotiations stalled by the end of the quarter as they reached an impasse over the relationships of the talks to the U.S. Taliban agreement and the school of Islamic jurisprudence that would be used to resolve disputes between the two sides. At the same time, the Taliban increased its attacks against Afghan forces, leading to quote unquote distressingly high levels of violence that could threaten the peace agreement. The United States continued its conditions-based withdrawal of military and non-diplomatic personnel, civilian personnel from Afghanistan, one of its commitments under the U.S. Taliban agreement signed on February 29th. The United States met its commitments to reduce the number of troops to 8,600 and to withdraw from 5 bases. 5 bases we withdrew from by July. Since July, the United States continued a steady reduction in military personnel, and then Secretary of Defense Mark Esper stated that the United States would have fewer than 5,000 military members in Afghanistan by the end of November. At that point, the United States will pause troop reductions and assess the situation. Bullshit. They announced they were going to rapidly reduce by January 15th. They didn't pause. We had less than 5,000 troops there, and they didn't pause. They accelerated. The bottom line is we made an agreement February 29th of 2020. We are at November 17th of 2020, and the Taliban has not kept a single condition of their agreement. They are still coordinating and attacking with Al-Qaeda. They are still attacking Afghani forces. They are still escalating violence, even during peace talks. All of those things are still continuing to happen. So why in the world would the United States of America continue to reduce our forces while they are not? They have not kept a single condition. So when Joe Biden takes office in January of 2021, he is facing a situation where we have 2,500 troops. We're out of 5 of our bases. We can't put more boots on the ground because the American people are tired of being in the Middle East. And when he wants to delay us from pulling out because they've not agreed to everything, then they threaten to escalate things even more and attack us. And we now are in a position where we're fucked. No matter what. The bottom line is, whether you think the way Joe Biden did the withdrawal or not was good is irrelevant, because it should have never been there. We should have never continued to honor that agreement, because the Taliban never honored that agreement. They never fulfilled a single obligation. Never. It is right. It's just like right now, Israel isn't honoring their ceasefire. Over 500 people have still been unalived in Gaza since October 10th. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, if Israel keeps this up, it might hurt the ceasefire. There is no fucking ceasefire. A ceasefire means you stop unaliving people. They haven't stopped unaliving people. There is no ceasefire in Palestine. There's not. So, this isn't like rocket science. So why does the United States of America, under the Trump administration, continue to do business with and adhere to agreements with people that are committing war crimes. Good morning, Scott. Because they are. Yeah, I don't really care what Bison says. Thank you, Bison, for contributing to the algorithm. Appreciate you. But this isn't rocket science, people. You would never do that. Listen, if you get engaged, listen, let's just say that you get engaged February the 29th. Okay? And the agreement is I'll marry you in the spring of next year as long as you stop cheating on me. Now, if they continue to cheat on you every damn month, or let's just say 6 months out of the next 10, are you getting married? Are you honoring the commitment? No, absolutely not. What's up, River Ray? It's just that simple. It's just that simple, folks. And the thing that gets me about this is when people want to talk about, oh, we love veterans. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. Not if you support this administration. No, you don't. This administration now wants to take away disability ratings for veterans who take medication to control their symptoms or make their conditions better. They want to reduce the amount of disability compensation that veterans get if they take medication for their condition. Do you know how many veterans will stop taking their medication? Do you know? Yeah, it's called the interim final rule. Yeah. That's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. Fucking read it. Here, I'll show you. I'm a veteran, Billy. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And everybody's freaking out. The Stars and Stripes, the American Legion, the veterans of foreign wars, and the disabled veteran Americans, all of them have put out statements on it. So I'm just going to read this statement from the Department, the Disabled Veterans Association. Hold on. I'm just going to read this one since Billy England ain't got no damn sense. I'll share it with you. Here. Somebody saying something about how fast I type again. DAV statement on the VA interim final rule concerning disability ratings and medication. Dated yesterday, February the 17th, 2026. It says, the DAV is extremely disappointed and alarmed by the VA's decision to use an interim final rule today that could potentially reduce disability compensation for millions of veterans. The new regulation would allow the VA to reduce disability compensation ratings for veterans who take medications to control their conditions or reduce their symptoms. The rule disregards clear decisions from the court. And this was developed and issued in a closed and unnecessarily expedited process that effectively shut out veterans from providing any meaningful input. It is unclear if and how the VA is going to implement this dramatic change and how it will impact the more than 6 million veterans currently receiving disability compensation, most of whom are on at least one medication. So I'm sorry, Billy England, what was that again about bullshit? What was that again, sir? I didn't hear you. Speak louder. I didn't hear you. Speak louder. Exactly, Scotty. You will see 6 million veterans off their medication. VAs will be overwhelmed, and they don't have enough physicians now. Do not tell me that the Trump administration or the Republican Party gives a fuck about veterans, because they don't. They don't. Just so that people understand. No, they don't. So, like, that's a thing, folks. Now, do you know what will happen? Is there will be organizations that will sue the administration. They're referring to all medications, Lisa Lou. Whether they are PTSD meds, it doesn't matter. So I'm just being very clear, folks. Yes, it's atrocious. Yes, it is atrocious. I'm not talking to you, Billy, because I literally just showed it on the damn screen. I'm not talking to you anymore. Go Google it. Go Google final interim rule, Department of Veterans Affairs 2026. You go Google it. It says if you are taking any medications to control or reduce your symptoms, that's what it says. If you are taking any medications to control or reduce your symptoms or your condition. So, just to be clear. So, it is just really important for people to really pay attention to what's happening. This is not an administration that cares about people. This is an administration that is putting corporations first. This is an administration that puts corporations first. No, Jody, it's a VA term for how they base compensations. Let me give you something, folks. Thing. Right, Warner, but the Dow's at 5,000, 50,000. The fuck ever. No, Jody's on YouTube, Mr. Barrios. So the reality is this, folks. I am so tired of anyone bringing up Joe Biden or Barack Obama. Barack Obama has not been the president in a decade. If you are talking to me about Barack Obama, I want you to get into the present. I want you to get into the present moment. I do not want to hear shit about Barack Obama. He's not the president of the United States. We're going to talk about what is right now. And there is no comparison. Let me be clear. There is no comparison between this president and any other fucking president. There is no comparison to this president and any other president in history. Nothing. There's no comparison. And I'm not going to pretend anything different than that. This is the most abusive, manipulative, corrupt administration I have ever seen in my life. And it is the American people that pay the price. It is the American people that pay the price. And not the 1%. Mark Zuckerberg is going to be fucking fine. So is Elon Musk. So is Peter Thiel. So is Larry Ellison. They are going to be just fine. It will be every single one of us and our neighbors, the people we go to school with, the people we go to church with, the people we go to cookouts with, the people we watch fireworks with, the people that we talk to on a daily basis, the children that we've babysat. It will be those people. The goal was never deportation. The goal was never deportation. The goal was free labor. The goal was free labor under the 13th Amendment. So, folks, there's a reason they're buying up all of these warehouses across the country. There's a reason. They got to put people in them. They are absolutely detention centers for labor. And I'll tell you who they're not full of. They're not full of all of the European immigrants here that have overstayed their visas. That's who they're not for. They're not for the European immigrants that are here that have overstayed their visas. So, just so y'all know. Listen, I think what do you mean? Right, they're modern day concentration camps. Exactly. Morning, Wawa. So the reality is the way out of this, and I want to be clear about something, folks. The way out of this is tough, uncomfortable conversations with the people in your life, in your immediate circles of influence, and then organizing your ass off and preparing for the midterms. Because a Democratic majority in Congress is the only hope in hell we have. Mellow Yellow, you can't impeach somebody with a Republican majority. You can't impeach and remove if you don't have a Democratic majority. Impeachment alone doesn't do shit. You have to be able to impeach and remove, and you cannot do that unless you have a Democratic majority in Congress. And so the reality is that people better be about the business of working towards that. Don't assume we are going to have a Democratic majority in Congress. Don't assume that. Don't assume that just because people see how horrible it's been, that they're automatically going to vote the right way. Don't do that shit. We did that in 2016, and guess what? We got Donald Trump as the president. And come November's a long 9 months is a long time from now. And people have short memories. Nine months is a long time from now, and people have short memories. Good morning, Gloria. Let me tell y'all something. The fact that this country came out on the other side of Joe Biden's administration in the shape that we did, is incredible. He took office in the middle of a global pandemic, international supply chains broken, millions of people devastated, a horrible agreement with OPEC that Trump did after he crashed the market in 2018. The fact that Joe Biden pulled us out of that in one term is astounding. It's astounding, people. And it would have been worse without his FTC. Let me be very clear. If the FTC had not stopped the merger of Kroger's and Albertsons, we would have all been fucked. Because Albertsons, Kroger's, and Walmart, they control 70% of the grocery market by themselves. Exactly, Dragon. His OPEC deal is why your gas was $5 damn and some odd cents in 2022. Like these are just facts, folks. The problem with this country right now is corporations with their acquisitions, their mergers, and the monopolies that they create. That is the problem in this country. The acquisitions, mergers, and the monopolies that they create. You want to lower prices, you need healthy competition. Wants healthy competition. A real capitalist wants a free market. We don't have a free market right now. We don't have that. Yeah, everybody here, well, most of my folks, they follow Mr. Global. Dragon. See you later, Joe. We understood this lesson back in the 80s, folks, when we broke up MCI, right? We understood that. We understood that monopolies are horrible. Yeah, Michael, he's on TikTok. That's his name. He's actually in the oil and gas industry, owns a company himself. He is an international expert in oil and gas. Have fun, Linka. Good morning, Taryn. Yeah, he is amazing. But folks, you've got to be about the business of finding the glimmers, right? And building the wins. Yeah, I follow Heather Cox Richardson too. Love her. Love her. Do you want to know why big corporations Happy birthday, Dax. You want to know why big corporations didn't want people working from home? Because they couldn't afford to have their big real estate sitting empty. They didn't want people to realize much of what we do, many people can do from home. People don't have to sacrifice their families and their life for corporations. How dare we figure that out? Happy birthday, Dax. Right? Good morning, Packard. Yep, and they wanted people spending money in the gas. Exactly. Brick and mortar for nothing. Imagine that, brick and mortar for nothing. We could keep some of our trees and our animals. Imagine that. We could be better for the environment. Who wants to do such a thing? Who wants to create a world where more people can be seen as human beings, where they can actually have it all? Who wants that? Who wants a world where the people that work for you are actually happy and more productive? Which that is something I wish corporations would fucking figure out. When you pay a livable wage, and you do not have to have people working for you that they see their phone go off and they see the bill collector or they get the notification that says their rent is past due. Do you understand that that detracts, that depresses, that lowers production? If you simply paid people a livable wage where they didn't have those worries, they would perform better for you. Exactly, hazel-eyed girls. That's the place. I mean, this is what people don't get. You are literally shortchanging on the front end when you could be making so much more money on the back end. So much more on the back end. Do y'all understand? If we all had universal health care, right? If we all had universal health care, there would be a transition time, right? There would be a transition period. Okay. But for the long run, people would not listen, you wouldn't have people going to the emergency room for strep throat. You wouldn't have people waiting until their cancer is in stage 4 to find out and then have to get treatment. Why? Because they would have a primary care provider that would be able to track their health on a regular basis. Yeah, Nini. Imagine that. We'd actually be able to prevent things. We would have a healthier population. Listen, I want you all to really picture something. Honestly, for just a second. Go with me here. Go with me here. Imagine being on TikTok with me 1 year from now. Right? Right here. Listen, y'all, just imagine being on TikTok with me right here. And the news reports were talking about the Democratic continuing resolution. And that continuing resolution, which the Republicans used to pass the one big barbaric bill, the Democrats were using to take the money that was allocated for ICE and put it into the FTC. They were reinstating the ACA tax cuts, the tax subsidies. Imagine if they were putting the ACA health subsidies back into the budget. Imagine if they were adding the dollars back that were taken out from education. Imagine because that is a real possibility. That is a real possibility. It begins with having a Democratic majority come November. And then you get accountability. Good morning, Ramona. And along with it comes accountability. Imagine getting the vast majority of Americans, or maybe not even the vast majority, just the majority. Imagine if they use that continuing resolution to cut the Department of Defense budget from $1 trillion even down to 750 million, even that, right? Even that. And taking that $250 million and investing it into healthcare or jobs or infrastructure. Imagine. Good morning. Imagine what that would look like. Because nobody's going to give us that. We have to create that. We have to create that together. And we do that. Yeah, imagine subpoena power. Yes, Fulton County filed in court immediately. Yeah, Sunflowers. Fulton County filed immediately. This is the thing. I really want people to get this. This is what it is our responsibility to get on board and to begin building and cultivating all of this. Yeah, so I think that you can get campaign reform. And when you say both Dems and Republicans are corrupt, that's just a lazy excuse not to hold people accountable. Hey, K-Love. That's just a lazy excuse to not hold people accountable. That's what inspires voter apathy, and it's bullshit. Not every politician is corrupt. Not every one of them is. And let me just, for shits and giggles, let me pretend that they are. Both sides could be corrupt, but only one of them is trying to take away my rights. Only one of them is putting boots on the ground against citizens. Only one of them is rounding up brown people in the street and fighting in court to be able to racially profile people. Hi, baby. So even if you say both of them are corrupt, let me feed you first, okay? And then yes. Hey, get your phone. I charged this for you. Okay, you can use that for your phone or your tablet. Okay. But I'll play that. I'll play that game. Both sides. Yeah, she's still a little under the weather. But both sides are corrupt. Well, only one side is trying to take away all of our rights. Only one side. Do y'all realize I have never seen a president fight in court to not feed people. Yeah, babe. Okay, hold on a second, okay? I got you right now. No, she can't, Sandy, not yet. And can I say this, folks? I know that we say that it's harm reduction time. I know that we say that. And while harm reduction is, that part is true. What's up, Dino? That's not all. That's not all it is. And I think it's really important for people to get this. When you say I am doing something for harm reduction, that's building from a negative space. You're saying I'm only doing this because it's my best worst option, right? And I don't think that we should build from there. I don't think that we should create from there. I don't think that that's what we want to do. I would rather build from the place of it's not harm reduction, it's for accountability. It's for better healthcare. It's for funding education. It's for human rights and civil rights. That's what I'm voting for. I am voting for civil rights and human rights. I'm not voting for just harm reduction. Fuck that. I am voting for us to be in a place where I don't have to worry about my government harming me. I am tired of living in a country where I have to fear my government. And some of you all are just experiencing that for the first time. But I'm over that shit. I know, Anissa, but I heard it this morning from someone else too. I wasn't speaking just about you. No, it's not when Jesus comes back. Listen, it is not when Jesus comes back. Because, by the way, when Jesus comes back, it's going to be fire and brimstone on this damn place. I don't know if you've read about what happens after the rapture, but it ain't good. So, no, those things aren't going to happen when Jesus comes back. It's actually really bad for a time after Jesus comes back. So, no, actually, no. I'm just saying. Ain't nobody waiting around to go up in no rapture. Yeah. Listen, I've had people telling me Jesus was coming back since I was about 8. Nope. Ain't doing it. Jesus said we have dominion over the earth. Jesus did not say sit on the earth and wait for me to come back. That is not what Jesus said. Jesus said I gave you free will and dominion over this world, over this earth. That's what Jesus said. He said I gave you wisdom. I gave you discernment. That's what Jesus said. Y'all don't want to come at me talking about Jesus, because I'll tell you what Jesus really said, because it ain't half of what people be preaching. It is not half of what people be preaching. Mm-mm. Every day I watch people in the damn GOP be blasphemous, using the Lord's name in vain. Y'all should be tired of people weaponizing Christianity. I'm tired of it. I'm just saying. It's wild. Just, I can't. I can't. It just really bothers me how people, let me just, I need for y'all to understand something. Okay. Jesus was an outlaw and a criminal, according to the government that existed at the time. Jesus could not stand the church. The organized religion at the time was horrible. They were gambling in churches the same way they do here. He went in there, flipped over tables, and made a whip and went after them. Don't tell me that Jesus wouldn't support any of this. Jesus doesn't support any of this. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Oh, hell on wheels. I'm not even talking about church bingo. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, I actually see churches today that will oust you for not paying your tithes. Don't, yeah, I can't. We're not doing that. I'm just saying. I am, I want people to be I want people to be so ready for something that you are willing to commit and be disciplined and be consistent for 9 months. If you knew that for 9 months of being consistent, if you knew that for 9 months of being consistent, you could feed 500,000 people, would you do it? Yes. Great. Let's go get some SNAP money back. If you knew that you could help 1,000 people go to the hospital and have insurance in 9 months, would you do it? Then do it. Let's get busy. Let's get busy because that's what's at stake. That's what's at stake. And that's the position that people have to take when they think about this stuff. Listen, I can't do anything about every legal thing this administration does. That's why I give to the ACLU, because that's their damn job. That's Mark Elias's job. Those are the people that are equipped to do that work. I am not equipped to do that work. Right? It was pretty, wasn't it? Appreciate that, Wawa. So, Lisa Lou, there's a lot that can be done. And the biggest impact that you can make is actually in your circle of influence. Like, think about how many conversations do you have? Conversations are key. How many conversations are you having? Uncomfortable conversations. How much information are you spreading? Right? How much information are you putting out through your social media and even in around? Like, listen, I don't want to hear people talking about, yeah, girl, I'm coming for brunch, but I don't want to hear anything about politics. Well, your ass ain't hungry. Hey, William, you hear me? If you want to be like, oh, I'm coming for dinner, but I don't want to talk about politics. Well, your ass must not be hungry because you're not coming to dinner. Because politics is what determined what I could cook for you today. Politics is what determined what was on the menu. So, you want to talk about coming to eat? That's what we got to talk about. We're not going to talk about, oh, we're not talking politics. I don't talk politics. I talk real life issues. That's what I talk about. I talk about the ability to go to the doctor, the ability to see a specialist, the ability to buy groceries. The ability to be brown and walk down the street. And so this is part of it. And listen, y'all, it's not enough to just protest. If you leave a protest and you don't have anybody new that's in your network, you ain't doing it right. You got to be connecting with the people that are there, building your network, building a coalition in your community. And it doesn't always have to be protesting. How many people do you have in your community, in your network, where 6 of you all get together on a Friday morning, on a Saturday morning? Y'all follow me? 6 of you get together on a Saturday morning, and you put together some little infographics, and you had them printed either at somebody's house or down the road at Staples. And it says fact versus myth. And you have one of those for immigration. You have one of those for Medicaid. You have one of those for SNAP benefits. You have one of those for education, the Department of Education. And you meet up with your friends and you say, all right, so listen, girls, we're going to go knock doors in this community. And we're going to hand out some infographics to people. We're going to hand out infographics in our community. We're not going to ask them anything about politics. We're just going to say, hey, listen, the midterms are coming up and we just like to get out some information. And you don't put a party on it. You don't do anything. It doesn't say Democrat. It doesn't say Republican. And then on the infographic, you list the source for everything so that people can look it up for themselves. And you just put it in newspaper boxes or you put it in their door frames. And then when you finish, y'all go have brunch and some mimosas. That's it. Just myth versus fact. And giving them local stats, local information, things that are relevant to them. Community coalitions are critical in this time. Give me 1 second. Mila. Baby, do you want some eggs and bacon or do you want chicken nuggets? I knew she was going to say that. She hasn't been feeling good. And so she slept extra late and it's at that border time. And so I just want her to eat well so she can have whatever she wants. You know, when the babies don't feel good and you're just like, whatever you will eat, you can eat. That's where we at today. That's what we're about to make happen. So, except candy. Yeah, we ain't starting out with that. We're not starting out with that. But do y'all see what I'm saying about things that we can do and how we make things happen? All of these things are within your power. You're not powerless. You're not powerless. They want you to think that you are, but you're not. Morning, Carol. Morning, Shannon. But just imagine the impact that happens. Make a homemade yard sign. Put it in your front yard. Imagine getting some thick old poster boards. You know the kind I'm talking about that you get for your science projects, the kids for your science projects, right? Get your kids involved. Get some of that, get some of those things out. Get you some paint brushes or some big thick markers and make some signs. Vote for funding Medicaid. Children deserve to eat. Lisa Lou, I hope you have a Ring camera or a door camera, because if you put something in your yard, no, it's not dangerous. Y'all, in 2024, I went throughout rural Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. I am from small town. Listen, let me tell y'all something. There are more progressives in your community than you think. All of you all are too scared to put out a yard sign. And therefore, none of you know the other one exists. When you shine your light, you give other people permission to shine their light to. And by the way, if you have political speech and it is on your yard sign in your home, right? And it's in your yard, have your little door camera on. And if somebody defaces that sign in your yard, you just go right on down there with that little camera, that little videotape, and you just take it on down to the DA's office and you file a lawsuit for civil rights intimidation, which is a felony because they are trying to limit your political speech. That's what you do. That's what you do. I'm just telling y'all. Why do they get to say who they support and you don't get to say what you support? Why do they get to say what they support and you don't get to speak on it? You're not saying go vote for Democrats. You're saying vote for health care, vote for Medicaid, vote to feed children. So, yeah, if you have an HOA that doesn't allow signs in your yard, check and see if they allow signs in your windows. Because some of them will allow signs in your windows, but not your yard. And if not, I would put a bumper sticker on my car or something in the window of my car. So when my car is parked in my driveway, you can see the back window of my car. And then still, you can go out and you can hand out infographics. No, Audrey, you can hit it and then you hit it again to claim your points. Yeah, I mean, Angie, I'll tell you this. I worked with people in rural communities throughout the country in 2024. And I had people say that very thing. And what I found is that when people actually put it out, nothing happened. The vast majority of it, nobody ever came back and said, somebody said they stole my sign. 12 o'clock, Veronica. Let me put that up. Well, I don't want it to mess it up. So if Mo is in here, Mo, if you could let everybody know, I'm going to do the River to the Sea time at noon. Y'all got me talking and I still ain't finished getting this for the baby. I got it. Okay. Yeah, right. That's what I got to do right now. Make sure that they get something to eat. For real, for real. Okay. I think I'm good. So, can one of my mods type that I'm going to do a River to the Sea at 12 p.m.? Yeah. Well, y'all see how Mila eats. Y'all see how Mila eats. Yeah, she do the damn thing. She makes no bones about it. Yeah, she loves her groceries. Show enough. 100%. That is the truth. Yeah, I don't know where they put it, to be honest. I do not know where they put it. Let me make sure I'm sending this where I need to send it. Okay. All right. I'm all good. What's up, SB? Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay. Am I done doing tutu duty? I am. Good. Okay. I did it. All good. All right. So Hey, good morning, Nance. Good morning, Marilyn. I've been on for a while. I went on early today. Oh, thanks, hospice. I appreciate that. Absolutely free Palestine, 100%. Um, thank you, Red Hot. Let me pin that. Ooh. So hopefully they will see that. Oh, you're very welcome abroad. Glad to have you. Yeah, I've got pineapple in there. I'm glad you found me too. I'm glad you found me too. So, folks, hopefully these ideas are helpful. Other things that you can talk about are how do you use that unused word Trump found? What I don't know what word. I don't know what word. Good morning, Wasim. Groceries, yeah. 100%. I need somebody to, oh, you're welcome. I need somebody to write it in Arabic, is what I need. So that they know. Because groceries, I know. Well, it's what it is. That is what they are. So give me a second. Let me see if I can I'm going to try to let them know when I'm going to open it. Okay. Okay. Mohammed, check WhatsApp. Mohammed, check WhatsApp. Wasim, look at the comment, please. Read the comment. Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this. How many of you all know how many birthing centers there are in your county? How many of you all know how many birthing centers there are in your county? You got one? So there are zero in your county, Shannon. There are a lot there are so many counties that don't have any. So let me give you. So listen to this. 57% of the counties in the United States either do not have a birthing center at all or only one. 36% have none at all in the entire country. In the entire country, over a third. People who live in rural places have to drive 45 minutes longer than other people to get to OB care. Right, within 55 miles. See, Shannon, that's what I'm talking about. So when we talk about these types of things, do you want to know? Okay, so those of you guys who've been with me for a while, you've heard me talk about it like this. But instead of having a conversation about whether or not somebody supports or believes in bodily autonomy or a woman's right to get an AB if she needs one, let's just take that conversation and put it right here. I'm good, Ash. But let me offer you something else. What if you talked about the fact that because of restrictions and bans on AB, we are losing birthing centers and OBGYNs? Like, that's a fact. I can give you numbers and stats on those, right? So listen, think about this. Think about this. How many women who desire to have babies are you hurting? How many women and how many babies don't have access to a provider because providers, yeah, so birthing centers are different. So, yeah, Christine, you are super lucky. So a birthing center means you're gonna specifically have a like OBGYN care there. It's like it's different than just a hospital. Like there'll be like a whole birthing ward. Thank you, Carla. So I pulled up because I'm working on some stuff, y'all. I'm working on some stuff. Um, I want to show you what maternity care deserts look like. Hopefully it'll share over here. It did. All right. So these are talking points when you want to talk to people about what we have and what we need, right? And what we need. Everything that is in hot pink is a maternity care desert. That means they have no access to a birthing center or a hospital that has OBGYN care. Everything that is in pink. Everything that is yellow means they have low access, which means they have access to one, maybe two in that county. This is per county. Green is moderate access, which means 2 to 4. And then gray is full access. And this is the United States of America. When you want to talk to people about legislation and you want to talk to people about, right. I mean, look at the South in general, but the South all the way up through the Midwest, right? Well, South Florida, yeah. But we have to start talking to people because it's not about what they agree people should or shouldn't do. There are unintended consequences. Oh, there's a super fan up for grabs. So if you want to be a super fan of mine, like a subscriber of mine, somebody has gifted it up there at the top. So when the timer runs down, you can just reach up there and grab it. Okay. It's being able to understand and know exactly what is happening. Oh, dear God in heaven, stop. Hold on for a second. Where's the stat that I want to share with you all? Yeah, so over a third, 35% of the counties in the United States are considered maternity care deserts, which means they don't have a single birthing facility or an obstetric clinician. Roughly 1 in 10 birthing people reside in counties without full access to maternity care. It gets worse for Native American and Indigenous women. Nearly 2/3 of maternity care deserts are in rural spaces. And it's crazy because rural spaces have a large amount of support for Donald Trump. And it's really important. Hold on. I see too many comments that are flying by and I can't keep up. So let me offer you all something. So imagine if you all got together and you did an infographic about healthcare in your state. And in your state, you named how many counties you have, and you named how many counties do not have birthing centers or an OBGYN. Because OBGYNs do more than just deliver babies, y'all. OBGYNs detect cervical cancer, endometriosis, PCOS, like all the things, right? There are 3 super fans up for grabs. So when the countdown goes down, there will be 3 available. But I want you all to think about that. So how effective would that be in your community? You all know your community is better than I do. Some of you all, I know your community because it's where I'm from, right? Yeah, Joanne, it's shocking, right? So follow me. Let's just say that you are in your community, right? So, how impactful would it be if you did an infographic, a little flyer, right? And you were out in your community giving information about how many counties you have in your community, right? How many counties are in your state? How many of those counties do not have a hospital that has a birthing center or an OBGYN? Imagine if you put in your stats how many hospitals in your state have closed in the last 10 years, right? These are points that matter to people. And you can ask the people running for office, what are their plans about these things? What are their plans? And y'all, that's not a partisan conversation. Hey, midterms are coming up. We want everyone to vote. We're just giving out information about our county, information about our region. And then you're just giving them information about what healthcare looks like in your region. There's one more available, guys. The countdown is leaving. It's up for grabs now. So if you want to be a super fan, you got to grab it now. It's grabbed. Done. Do you, NASA baby? Love that for you. But do you all think that those types of conversations would be impactful for the people in your community? Yeah, you got to be quick. LOL. It's necessary trouble, right? But imagine that, folks. Nobody can be mad at you for that because you're literally just sharing information because you care about your neighbors. Put it in a newspaper box. Do not ever put it in a mailbox because that's illegal. Do not ever put it in a mailbox because that's illegal. But you can absolutely put it in a newspaper box or put it in the door and just leave it. You follow me? So my goal over the next 8.5 months. Yeah, I recommend don't talk partisanship. I recommend don't talk partisanship. We want to talk about healthcare. We want to talk about education. We want to talk about housing. We want to talk about economics. We want to talk about those things. Do you all know that right now, if you go to CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, when you go to their website and you look up hospitals in your region, they now have a designation at the top that says birthing friendly. That only exists because of Kamala Harris's maternal blueprint. She did a whole maternal mortality blueprint, like a whole thing in 2 years, and it was phenomenal. In order for some of them to get those designations, what they had to do is, invisible, yeah. But so they actually have to have emergency crash carts specifically for OBGYNs, specifically for pregnancies, specifically. Because most crash carts are not the same as what you need for an emergency delivery. There's another super fan box up there. Appreciate you, Sandy, for gifting. So I put her entire her entire maternal blueprint and what they accomplished is in my link tree. I talked about it before the election in 2024. There's 5 up there, guys. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta get this for the baby. Mila. Come here, baby. Let me get you squared away real quick.
This fell. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. There you go, baby. All right. Okay. All right. I am back. Yeah. Sandy's pretty fucking amazing, right? Yes. We are very grateful to have Sandy in our community. 100%. So I want to, up here, when this timer goes down, there's about 1 minute left. When this timer goes down, you just can reach up there and grab the treasure box that's up there. So I also want to share this with you guys so that you can prepare. Okay. Becky, if you don't see it, that means you need to update your TikTok app. If you can't see it, you need to update your app. Oh, that's amazing, Witch. I'm ready for that. Okay, so listen, I want to share this with you guys. Yeah, so that's another stat that I have. Jody asked over on YouTube, how many doctors have decided not to specialize in OBGYN because of current policies? That's a thing. There's actually a reduction in the number of people that are looking for that are wanting to go into that field as a specialty. Yeah, that's a thing. I have a whole stat. Let me see if this is the one that I have pulled up right now. Nope. Hold on 1 second. Saludos, Richie. They're up here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab them. They're right there. Sarah Ritter got one. Angie got one. I'm trying to see who else. Pop's looking boy got one. We are better than this got one, and Renee W got one. There you go. Woohoo! All right. So let me see if I can. So can I ask? Let me share some other stuff with you guys. Because this is in my link tree for people to use already. All right. So I believe you have to make things real for people and tangible for people so that they know what's happening. Okay. Are you ready? Are you following me? Hey, Tink Tink. So check this out. This is in my link tree already, but let me share it with you. Did you know? So give me a state, any state. Somebody give me a state. I'm going to go the first state that I see in the comments. Somebody put a state in the comments. The first state I see is the one I'm using. Nevada. That was the first one. I saw Nevada first. Okay. So watch this. I'm going to show you guys once I get it pulled up. Okay. So I'm going to Nevada, and I'm going to share my screen so that you all can see. This is really good information, and you can access this through my link tree. Okay. Let me show you. I'm going to take this down. Imagine having conversations around this. Watch. I'm going to pull this down here so you guys can see. You ready? Whoop. I got to click the right button. So this is Nevada. So Medicaid in Nevada, 738,000 children and adults are enrolled in Medicaid in Nevada. 2 in 5, 39% are children. 1 in 15, 7% live in rural areas, and 15% have 3 or more chronic conditions. Medicaid in Nevada covers 42% of all births in the state. 39% of your children are covered. Ages 19 to 64, 16%. Working age adults with disabilities, 35%. Nursing home residents, 60%. 60% of your nursing home residents are on Medicaid. And by the way, 67% of the people in Medicaid in Nevada are working. How about that? So now I'm going to show you something else, because this is all in my link tree. But I started working on something for folks to utilize. And give me a second, and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show it to you. Give me 1 second. See, y'all thought all I did was sit on TikTok. Not true. Not true. Bum, bum, bum. I don't want those. Okay, these. I want this one to open. And okay, let me see how many is in this one. Yeah, okay. So let me show you this. I'm going to replace this so that you guys can see it. So I made these, and these are in my link tree. I put a link in there to my Google Drive for people to use. So this is, did you know? These are graphics for you to just download from my Google Drive and use for yourself. So this is Tennessee stats. So there are 1.5 million children in Tennessee, children and adults in Tennessee that are on TennCare. 48% are children, 30% live in rural areas, 68% of Medicaid adults in Tennessee work, either full or part-time. Medicaid covers 46% of the births, 57% of nursing home residents have Medicaid, and 36% of working age adults with disabilities. And so I have this for a lot of different places. Medicaid covers 39% of all the children in the United States. This one is for Texas. This one is for West Virginia. This one is for West Virginia, specifically in rural towns. This one is for Virginia. 41% of all the births in this country are people who have Medicaid. Almost half, y'all. This is North Carolina Medicaid. This is North Carolina. Michigan is here. So I made all of these, right? Because I think that we need them. So if I go to Louisiana, this is Louisiana. I feel like my little camera is blurry. Yeah, see, that's better. 1.8 million people, children and adults, are on Louisiana Medicaid. 36% of them are children, 20% live in rural areas, and 18% have 1 or more chronic conditions. Louisiana, Medicaid covers 64% of all of the births in Louisiana. Yeah, I got you. It covers 54% of all the children. Half of the children in Louisiana are on Medicaid. Working age adults with disabilities, 54%. And 74% of your residents in nursing homes are covered by Medicaid. Like, yeah, guys, I'll do them for you. Remember that they're also in my link tree. I'm going to do some more states for you. I have an ask though. I'm going to turn this around for just a second. Okay. I have an ask though. In 30 minutes, I'm going to start to bring some people up to the panel. The people that I bring up to the panel are in Pali. They live between the river and the sea. And it is Ramadan, and many of them need a Ramadan basket. They need supplies. Many of them have medical injuries. So I bring them up to the panel, and I ask for people to do magic beans, which is the TikTok coins. If you can do that, if you are not able to do that, if you do not have the finances to do that, please do not feel pressured in any way, shape, or form. It's okay. But all right, Carla, appreciate you. So if you can recharge, and give some magic beans, I'm going to bring them up in about 30 minutes, 29 minutes. Okay. All right. So let me show you some more of your states. Okay. All right. So if I go back here, I forget what somebody asked me for. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Irma. Appreciate you. Sin, what state did you ask? You asked me to do Kentucky. All right. So let me do Kentucky, and let me share it with these folks over here so they can see. Yeah. So this is Kentucky. So there's 1.4 million people in Kentucky that are on Medicaid. 9% of them are children. 55% of them live in rural areas, and 19% have 3 or more chronic conditions. Wawa, you touch the box when they're there, like you touch their box, and a thing will pop up at the bottom, and you just hit gift. There's like a little present down there. And when you click the present, you just pick which gift you want to give them, and it'll give them those amounts of coins. The same way you tap and gift me, you just tap their boxes, and then you just tap the present and you can gift them. Okay. So in Kentucky, 44% of all births are covered by Medicaid. 51% of working age adults with disabilities in Kentucky are covered by Medicaid, and 68% of your elderly folks in nursing homes are covered by Medicaid. How about that? It's wild, right? It is absolutely wild. I'll show you Virginia because, hey, Sandra, how are you? Because people like to believe this whole thing that people that are on Medicaid or get benefits, they need to work. They do work. They do work. 70% of Medicaid adults are working in Virginia. 70% are working in Virginia. This lie that they're telling you that they just get shit for free is crazy, because they do not. They do not. 37% in Virginia are children. 17% are in rural areas. 62% of nursing home residents are covered by Medicaid. 35% of your births. You guys get it, right? You get what I'm saying. So imagine preparing for midterms. Imagine preparing to go out into your communities and having information like that to share with the people in your community. And then talk about the fact that we're going to lose almost $1 trillion in Medicaid funding. No, I made the graphics, not that site, but the other graphics that I was showing you, the little infographics. I made those. Those pages I did not. That actually comes from KFF Health News. That's who does that. They are fantastic. I happen to know a couple of the journalists over there, and that's what they cover is healthcare across the United States. And so what I did was I took some of the information from the things that they had done and started making those graphics. And so they're actually in my Google Drive and available for people to use. There are some that are specific for rural people. Yeah, my link tree is intense, Doug. Thank you. Doug just commented and said, your link tree is intense. I know. But yeah, I mean, I've been building that link tree for about a year and a half now since I started doing lives on TikTok. Because it's just important information that people need to have, right? Um, and so I'm just saying, um, what I find is people spend too much time arguing about the things that don't matter and not enough time focused on the real issues and the things that impact each and every one of us, right? And what I believe is that if we start talking about the issues and then we because listen, when you talk about issues and then you can attach that issue to a policy and then you show that policy belongs to this candidate, I don't have to talk about a party. Ramadan Marabuk. Ramadan Kareem Wasef. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to everybody? It is not enough. Good morning, Chris Mack. It is not enough to rely on people's dislike of Donald Trump or this administration to get a majority of a Democratic Party, right? It's not enough. We have to be focused on the issues and make it real for people. Like in Virginia, I don't know if you know this or not, but in Virginia, you can go to your state's website for your health department. Virginia will show you by county how many people are on Medicaid. Imagine that. Imagine being able to see how many people in your county are on Medicaid and then knowing that 20,000 people in your congressional district are projected to lose their Medicaid benefits by 2034. Just imagine the conversations that you could generate with people that are meaningful, that aren't about whether or not somebody shits in a diaper or fell asleep in a meeting, but like a real conversation about something that impacts their everyday life. People have to start to get interested in the policy that determines how they live. Yeah, baby. Girl, you asked me for chicken nuggets. Now you changed your mind? Okay. Well, give me just a minute, okay? Yeah, for real, y'all. With now that she's got the chicken nuggets and fries sitting in front of her, now she changed her mind. It's okay though. It's okay. I try to be. Oh no, don't even mention that, Hector. Don't even mention that because she will ask for those. 100%. So, yeah, I'm just saying. So, don't do it. But anyway, so this type of information that I have in my link tree is not partisan information. It's just facts.
So I want you to play this game.
You want to play this game?
You have to survive.
Okay, let me see. You have to survive it. I became. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. I gotta help the baby. Okay, here. It's one of these two. You got it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, Ash, I don't know, but she loves them. Okay. So, all right. So listen, if I don't know what my hair's doing now, but anyway, so listen, if I talk policy with you and the policy, you are hilarious, River Ray. But the policy happens to come down. Yeah, for real. I have to tell her you can't do it every day because it's not good for you. Appreciate you, Amanda. But if I talk policy and the policy just happens to come down on the side of the progressive candidate, on the side of the Democrat, right? That's not me being partisan. That's me talking about policy and the policies that I support belonging to that particular candidate. It's just that simple. Like, I don't know any other way to explain that to people. And when you talk to people just about the issues, that's mostly how people feel. Most people support progressive policy. Most people absolutely support progressive policy until you introduce fear, racism, and sexism and religion. You introduce those four, you weave them together real pretty, and all of a sudden people are at each other's throats. But if I were to go into any town and say, hey, if it doesn't take anything away from you, would you want everyone in town to eat? They would say yes. And I bet you money if I said, hey, listen, if you're willing to pay $1 more every year, everyone in town can eat, I bet you everybody would say yes. If you just flat out ask people, would you pay an extra $10 a year if everybody could go to the doctor and have insurance? People would say yes. People would say yes. But if you start to ask them about universal health care, well, who's going to pay for it? The reality is not having universal health care.
I just got on the boat quickly, and the boat was far, and didn't let us go down quickly.
You got on the boat quickly?
Yes.
I love that, girl. So follow me. But here's the thing. We actually pay more by not having universal health care. You want your emergency rooms to stop being full of people that don't have emergencies? Give them health care so they can go to a pediatrician and a primary care doctor. That's what you do. Appreciate you, Sandy. Right? That's all you do. Give them health care. Give them health insurance so they can go get a regular checkup. It's that simple. Do you know how much more? Do you know how inexpensive? Hey, Sissy, did you unplug me over there? I think you did.
I did.
I think. Can you fix it, please? Do you know how?
Yesterday.
Can you please do it? Do you know how much cheaper it is to do a colposcopy than it is to treat cervical cancer that's stage 3? One is significantly less expensive than the other. And how do you prevent this one and get this one? Early detection. How do you get early detection? By regular visits. Stop giving billionaires and corporations all of these cuts. They depend on us. They are not going any damn where. They are not going anywhere. They're not. Them damn billionaires ain't going to do anything. Morning, EGJ. I said it backwards, didn't I? Hey, Maggie. Stop catering to people. Stop operating from a place of fear. Oh, we can't stop giving them corporations money because they'll go build them somewhere else. Not if everybody stops giving them shit. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go if everyone stops catering to them? If everyone just holds the line and says, absolutely not. You don't get this tax break unless we know you're paying a livable wage. What if every state did that? Imagine that. Appreciate you, Cheryl. Mila, Tutu needs you to fix that, please. this is the thing. For too long, we have believed that we are at their mercy. Thank you, sweetheart. And we're not. Yeah, babe. Okay. Do you want to get some yogurt until I get it? Okay. Get you some yogurt. Everyone isn't for self, Michael James. That's not true. That's not true. And again, when people say things like that, that is just a reason for people to be apathetic and not do shit. Do you know what? Let me tell you. Most people actually give a damn. Hey, Irvette. Most people actually give a damn. And if people weren't so busy, do you want to know why it looks like people are selfish? Because people are fighting to survive. You hear me? It looks like people are selfish because people are choosing between paying their rent and getting medication. Don't do that, sis. Sissy, where'd my scissors go? Because you done got this wet, and I don't know if I can. Here, there. But you hear me, folks? People feel like that because they are struggling. When you take that away, when people are operating from a place of creation rather than fear, rather than lack, the world looks very, very different. I'm going to give you an example. I woke up today and I saw the news about Prince Andrew. And my first thought was, the dominoes are starting to fall. I can't fucking wait. Here we go, right? Other people saw Prince Andrew get arrested and immediately said, why aren't we doing that? Why isn't the United States of America doing that? And just raging about it. And my thought was, well, you already know why. Because Donald Trump is in charge of the dominoes. Donald Trump is in charge of the DOJ and the FBI. What the fuck do you mean? That's why. Why get yourself worked up and hateful and angst? I'm not going to make my heart palpitate over that. We already know the answer. We already know the answer. But he ain't going to be in there forever. And he's just about done all they need him for. They don't need him for anything else, folks. They already have JD positioned where they want him. He's no longer that big of a deal when it comes to elections. The days of Donald Trump endorsing you and that meaning that you're going to win are gone. The days of Donald Trump saying, oh, don't let that person win, and that person losing is gone. He no longer has the pull of that base that he had 2 and 4 years ago. They don't have it. So they will hang his ass out to dry, especially over these files. If it gets to be that time and they have to cut him loose, they will do that because they don't need him anymore. And that is why we have to be busy, focused on putting things in place so that JD Vance isn't finishing these 2 years and then the next 2, right? We're not doing that. Absolutely not. We are going to have a Democratic majority in Congress in November. And that is going to be a separate but equal branch of government. Yes, I do think. Yes, I do think. Morning, Laverne. 100% I do. And that is the beginning. Now, if they're smart between now and November, they will get with Massey and Rand Paul and a couple of the others that are of the Republicans that are willing to step over to the other side, right? They need to get with those folks and go ahead and impeach and remove Kristi Noem. Go ahead and because I believe they can get enough folks from the Republican side to support that. Impeach and remove her ass before November. Done. Next up, RFK Jr. Senator Cassidy, stupid pissed at RFK Jr. They won't. Pam Bondi is going to take some time. No, you cannot, Lisa. Removing her does a lot, Michael, because if you remove her, right, and you have, let's just say you start the impeachment process, it will take them, if they were to start right now, I would say give them until June to really start that process, right? And getting the people on board and being able to impeach and then remove her. Yeah, so what stops them, Charles, what stops them is a Democratic majority gets elected in November, and then you don't have the rubber stamp on whoever the replacement is. If they time it right, from impeachment to removal, you have a Democratic majority in Congress, and now there's not a rubber stamp on whoever they select to replace her. And then you start doing that for every single one of those damn members of their cabinet. That's what you do. And hold on a second. And I believe that you start with Kristi Noem. I believe you go to RFK Jr. after that. Why? Because you go down to South Carolina and RFK Jr. has people not getting vaccinated. There's like over 800 cases of measles in South Carolina. And it's now spreading into North Carolina. You get the director of the American Academy of Pediatrics to come testify. It is bad when the American Academy of Pediatrics has to put out information that says don't trust the head of Health and Human Services. Do you all know that Senator Cassidy is a liver doctor? He specifically asked RFK Jr. about the Hep B vaccine. He specifically asked about that. I believe that's an easy one. Just ting, ting. You can handle him. Yeah, Mr. I'm not scared of germs because I sniff toilet seats. I just can't. North Dakota has measles too. Yeah. Yeah. So, Charles, I don't think that you get Hegseth or Bondi until Hegseth is in my top 4. Hegseth is in my top 4. Okay. So my top 4 are Noem, RFK Jr., Linda McMahon, and it helps that they just lost their case in court yesterday. And then Hegseth after that. So here's what you do. You all, so I really do like have a plan. This is just one part of it, right? This is just one part of it. And I'm doing a webinar. I am hosting a meeting. I'm hosting it on March 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link to register is in my link tree, and anyone can attend. Y'all, we have now taken measles to Mexico, and measles was eradicated in Mexico. So, no, I purposely didn't look at the video with RFK and Kid Rock. No, thank you. They probably shared toilet seats back in the day. I'm okay. No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks. But do you hear me when I say, so when I say, I just got tired of sitting around waiting for someone to do something. So, and I gave a sneak peek of it yesterday to some folks, but I literally have been working my ass off to put something together, a legitimate strategy that can just literally hit the ground running on how do we stop the bleed in this country and get ourselves on track to create something different that works for everyone. We now know where the loopholes are in our laws. We know where the areas of the vulnerabilities are. We know where we can be exploited now, and it's time to shore that up. This next Democratic majority in Congress needs to put forth legislation that closes the loopholes in the Constitution. 100%. And they've got to be about the business of doing that, which means once we put them in office, we have to make sure that they are held accountable and they actually do it without fail. Well, Michael James, you just like to be negative all the time. I don't. I don't. I mean, seriously, every time I say something, you just say something negative. And my thing is, I don't even know why the hell you here. Like, I don't know why people love to just sit around and be pessimistic all day, every day. I can't do it. If you don't have hope, you might as well not be here. You're not hoping for the best. You are literally negating it to start with. You are negating it to start with. You literally spit out of your mouth that the things you desire aren't going to happen. And then when they don't happen, you go, I told you so. Well, hell yeah. Because the universe heard you say you don't want that. Y'all, I have a thing. Hey, Sean, good to see you, friend. Listen, I have a thing. I don't speak things that I don't want to happen. Appreciate it, Marilyn. I don't speak things that I don't want to happen. Hey, Michael. Things are going really good, Sean. How are you? Were they able to help you get your job, Sean? For those of you guys who do not know, Sean is a friend of ours that we met. He was a Trump supporter and also has a bit of a disability. And he got on my panel and we started talking and I shared some information with him. And then and he's from West Virginia, and then I got him in touch with the disability office there in his state, and so they were going to start helping him out and seeing if they could help him find something. So we'd love to see him come back. Right, Toop. Yeah, you remember. So that's Sean. Yep, 100%. All right. So listen, folks, this is the part where I'm going to rotate my panel. So listen, because, right, no more is, swells. No more is. Yeah, no more is, was. Okay, so listen, I'm going to open up the panel, and here's what I'm going to do. Yes, baby. Okay, give me just a second, okay? If I put up just a whole pally panel, if I put up a whole panel of people that are over there, it messes up the algorithm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate it with people that are here in the States and then people that live between the river and the sea. Hey, Sage. So this is the time where if you've got magic beans and you can help them get a Ramadan basket, that would be terrific. Okay. So I'm going to alternate some folks and make this thing happen. You hungry?
I like this recipe too for him.
Okay, cool.
So just a little bit.
All right. So let me do. And I know, why is it acting funky? Hold on. Kim, I tried to do Muhammad OS and it didn't work for me. I don't know. He's not there now. Okay, so I'm going to alternate and let people hold space for me. Appreciate it. All right, so listen, you don't have to think and feel the way I do. You just negative as hell. That's all. Thanks, whoever did that. Thanks, whoever did that. Okay, so I want to help really quickly and give you guys alaikum salam, Mohammed. Hi, friend. Keep halak, Mohammed. So that smiling face that you guys see right there is Mohammed OS. He's a member of Palestinian Press. He has newborns. He has babies that are not quite 2 months old, maybe 7 weeks old. That's this box that's kitty corner right here. And then he also has a toddler. So anything that you can do there absolutely helps. The box on the other side of which in the corner, that is Allah Shak Shak. He needs to get out of Gaza. You know, the 22,000 people that are in Gaza that need emergency medical services, Allah Shak Shak is one of them. He's a dad and a granddad. He's also Palestinian Press, and he has a major heart condition, and he cannot get the care that he needs. They've been trying to get the WHO to work with them to get him help, and they haven't been able to do that for him yet. So he is still there, and really, really, really needs assistance. Alaikum salam, Mo.
Hi, Dani and everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I told you yesterday we were going to do some river to the sea time today. Yeah. So, you know, most of these folks we have known now for about 6 or 7 months. And we have learned a ton from them. Hey, Wasim.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, friend?
How are you? والله how are you محمد علاء شكشك محمد يسعد مساكم والله باسم very miss you رمضان كريم اليوم eating chicken الحمد لله داني and drink juice الحمد لله رمضان very good very good والله الحمد لله داني الحمد لله.
So for you guys over there that can see,
Sandy Genie.
So,
والله يا داني والله Wasim very miss you. Come Dani the live والله.
Yes, voila, missed you. I will come to your live. Yes, there are. So I've got Allah Shak Shak, Mohammed OS, Mo, and Wasim. Those 4 boxes. And then there are more that request.
اليوم داني رمضان كريم والله الناس كثير very happy موجود اكل يا داني في the eating الحمد لله people the Gaza لكن الحمد لله والله داني people the Gaza North Gaza والله very very happy داني and my group داني والله
Your group is very happy.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm good.
والله يوم and Sandy and Wish and Bowling and Big Daddy والله coming the live وسيم والله. When people when children when children Danny.
Oh yeah. So back there, Mila, come here, sis.
Mila, hello Mila.
She's coming, right? He's so great. So, and that's Allah Shak Shak up at the top. So come here. Wasim says he wants to say hello.
Smile on my face. Wallah, I'm smiling.
Yes, he's always like that. It's so great. Girl, your hair looks rough, but it's okay. Ugh.
Hi.
There's Wasim.
مست مجنون.
I don't know if he can see you. Wasim.
Hi.
He can't see, I don't think, because of the internet.
وسيم شايفها حاطة صورتها.
I don't think he can see. Okay, you ready? Yeah, I don't think you can see. Hey, Mohammed. So for those of you guys, as you can see, we know them. We've built relationships with them, and it matters to us. And so Ramadan is really important. This is the time where they would like to get their Ramadan baskets and things like that they need. So being able to help out is really fantastic. I have the brothers turned on the camera too. I have some other people that have requested that I'll rotate out some folks as well, because I want to be able to kind of spread it around as much as possible. Let me just say this really quickly to you all. Mohammed OS, and so let me damn, Sandy, I forgot to put it in my link tree. So listen, Allah Shak Shak has a link in his profile. And he's trying to get what he needs to be able to get help. So that's another way. Appreciate you, Cloud. That's another way that you could really help him out directly, is through the link. There are links in my profile, in my link tree. There's like a little section that says Palestinian support links. You can do that. Yeah, Wasim doesn't have a link. This is his only means. This is his only means. So the magic coins are very helpful for Wasim because this is his only means. And for people have asked me, well, how does this help them? So they're able to take the TikTok coins and transfer them into crypto and then into funds that they can use.
1 minute, Danny. 1 minute, Danny. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah.
موي كيف حالك موي؟ موي تشكرها بالنيابة عنا كلنا موي.
محمد Mo. He says he thanks you all. He appreciates what you're doing, and he just thanks you guys. Wallah.
Yeah.
We all thank you. For real, you guys are amazing community. I have a friend that told me that yesterday it was like Lent Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
Is it like a 40-day that you fast from stuff? Not everything, but you stop doing some stuff.
Yeah,
like
people
drinks.
choose to give up something for Lent. Like, so it just depends on what it is, what people choose to give up for Lent. Yeah. They make a sacrifice.
Guys, 2 years. 2 years.
Hi, Habibi. Mwah.
2 years.
Hi, Habibi. 2 years old. Mwah. Hi, Habibi. 2 years. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Bye.
Yeah, I think sometimes people forget that they have whole families. You know, it's not just, thank you, Mo, that's helpful. So like a whole Ramadan basket is 8.5K coins. Yeah, that's helpful.
Can I have a minute to talk about it, Dani?
Yeah, sure.
Appreciate you. So it's my first time doing anything in this community like helpful, because unfortunately some people, and I'm sad to say this, are putting some of those money in their pockets. I'm not generalizing, there are some good people, but I didn't want to be one of them by mistake even. So yesterday, the day before yesterday, I started this initiative, alhamdulillah, It's for people who are in desperate need that I know in person in this camp. Not my relatives, none of them is, but I know that financial status is bad, unfortunately, and they are forbidden from most of the aids. So I decided, bro, I need to do something. I need to help if I can. And Alhamdulillah, I made like a target of 30 baskets, and I'm almost half the way there. There are some people, amazing people, who went to the thing in my bio, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And distributed. Yeah. And this is another way which we can make balance also by using it. And I'm documenting everything. I'm typing notes of everything comes in and goes out, inshallah. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So you guys, the brothers is a friend of ours as well. I'm always super proud of him. He graduated from high school during the G side with like a 93 or 92. And I never remember which one, but anyway, my heart's in the right place. And so what he is sharing with you is that there are people, he and his family, they're okay. But there are about 30 families around him that don't have the means to get a Ramadan basket. And so a Ramadan basket in TikTok coins is 8.5 coins, 8.5 thousand coins, or his link is in my link tree, right? So let me show you all what I'm talking about real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna
just a small edit, Dani.
Yeah.
It's 8.5 in my live. So this photo I made in my live, it's when the 30% is off, you know what I mean? It's 12.4 in this kind of lives. Just want to make clear.
Okay, I got you. So let me show you. Whoops. Let me take down mine. And can I make me? Hold on. Let me see if I can make me bigger, y'all, to help out. For those of you guys that are somewhere else and you're like, what the hell are y'all doing? I know. I know. And I appreciate you guys for hanging with me. But it's just really important that we support our folks that are over there. Okay. Especially during this time. So let me show you. Matter of fact, shit. Sandy, can you, I got you. All right. So Mo, somebody just sent me something to send to you. So yeah.
Wallah, Sandy, very good, Sandy. Very, very good, Sandy. Wallah, Wasim, very happy in Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy's amazing.
My friend Wasim, Sandy.
Sandy, can somebody give me Allah Shak's link in Discord?
Yes, Linda. Yes, Linda.
What did she ask you, Mo?
She asked about the number.
Okay,
dollars,
I got you.
Dollars. Yes, it's
What's up, Amal? Okay, so let me just turn my camera around for a minute, you guys. So in my link tree, there's this section, right? And Muhammad OS is the fourth box from the bottom on my panel. I don't see Raja in here. He was in here earlier. But Mo is the brothers. I need to update you. His TikTok used to say the brothers, but I'll update him. And so this is where you can go to give support directly if you want to help get Ramadan baskets. Real quickly, can somebody drop me Allah Shak's link so I can put it in my link tree, please? But all of these folks are people that we know, right? So this is Ahmed and his students. They have a school that we help a lot. Yep, Aziz was here too. Abu Saraj, Bilal, Baby Mo, Aziz, Calamantina, Sophia of Gaza. Her name is Amal. And so this is a way for you to be able to do it directly, and it's in my link tree. Okay. Let me get somebody tell me when the link is sorry guys. I know it's a lot. Ash Wednesday also, Marilyn. If some yes. So
Dani, look they're eating yesterday. Look, they're eating Ramadan.
They're eating Ramadan. Love that.
Look, they're eating.
Alhamdulillah.
Big books.
شايفين
الحمد لله داني الحمد لله
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
الحمد
Amazing.
لله الحمد لله رزق من الله يا داني رزق من الله الحمد لله
ما شاء الله.
MashaAllah. Okay, so let me do.
يا رب.
Okay, so I'm trying to grab this
الحمد
real
لله
quick.
داني، الحمد لله.
Yes, Jaybird. Yep, they fast during the day. I'm going, Sandy. They fast during the day and then they eat at night. Right. And Sandy, tell me where it is in Discord. Did you send it directly to me or is it just in the sub? I got it. I got it. Thank you. Okay, so listen, I am adding Allah Shak Shak's link to my link tree right now. Oh shit, not to my Discord. Don't do that. I went to copy the link and it copied the Discord link. I don't need it to copy the Discord link. I need it to copy this. All right, so listen. And his is going slow, y'all. And he needs help. And he's very sick. Like sick enough that they've reached out to the WHO. They've tried to get the director of the WHO to help him, to get him out of Gaza, to get him the medical care that he needs. So I just want to let you guys kind of know that. So that you can help if needed. I'm putting it in my link tree literally right now. And it's in that group. They all say Palestinian support links is what it says. Oh my gosh, link tree, work with me. It's so full. It takes it a minute. Go ahead, Mo.
It's Salah. Titus in comments asking about who's sick. It's Salah Shak. He's in desperate need to leave Gaza. He still needs to make a surgery in his chest, and the meds he's taking here in Gaza is barely keeping him with us absolutely. And yeah, as Dani said, his link is going really slow. An Egyptian friend made it for him.
Yeah,
and he's been trying to leave for a long time now.
Yeah, for a long time now. So I just okay. So Allah Shak Shak. Let me show you. Give me 1 second. So where is okay, so hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay.
مدينة
في إمكانية بس يعني إذا حدا بيقدر يناشد منظمة الصحة العالمية بالنسبة لخروجه.
حاضر هنا بنحكي في الموضوع. حاضر.
Okay, tell him that's in my link tree.
حاضر. هي حاطة الرابط تبعك في اللينك تبعها مباشرة للناس عشان يساعده. He's asking and he's saying that if anyone has any lead to the global organization of health and can do anything, he can give his full information just to, if someone can help. If someone
I wonder if Dr. Mimi would know somebody. So I interviewed Dr. Mimi and, you know, she was over there twice. I wonder if she would know anybody. I don't know. I'll ask. Hey, Mohammed.
والله thank you Dani, thank you all والله, thank you والله, love you all والله, thank
You're
you
welcome.
Dani.
You're welcome.
Thank you والله, thank you والله, thank you والله, I love you Dani.
We love you
Thank
too.
you all, والله.
Love you too, Mohammed. So yeah, I know Amal. I know it is. Out of there's 22,000 people in Gaza that need out for medical treatment, and only 260 have been allowed out so far. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate folks out now, okay, so that other people have an opportunity to get some magic coins. Okay, guys. Mo, can you let them know I'm gonna rotate people out?
اوكي اخوانا هي بدها تبدل الناس عشان يكون في فرصه للناس الثانيين بتقولكم.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you Dani.
Dani.
Thank you Dani.
Yes.
Dani.
Yes.
Dani.
Yes. What's up?
والله والله وسيم very happy. وسيم very happy والله داني والله. Dani and Big Daddy and Wish and group ما شاء الله داني. Thank you. Very happy people the Gaza, Dani and the group والله. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
شكرا داني.
You're very welcome. You're very
Sandy and Big Daddy. Dani, Sandy and Big Daddy والله وسيم very happy. يلا إلى اللقاء. Goodbye Dani.
Bye, Wasim.
اسمع تضحكوش
Thank you,
علي.
Danny.
هاي الانجليزي اللي عندي. داني وسيم زيرو انجلش زيرو.
والله
I know.
انت عسل.
Shway Arabic. Danny, shway Arabic.
Wasim, how are you? Answer, I am good. I am fine. No, Wasim.
Yes. He is so sweet.
Goodbye.
Hella, Raja.
Goodbye. Danny.
Okay.
Goodbye, Ala.
Okay, so
Bye.
let me, okay. So folks, I'm going to rotate some people out, and I don't know how they're going to land. Will it let me
هلا داني.
hella Raja.
رمضان كريم. مرحبا يا أصدقاء.
Where's
كيف
Wasef?
حالكم جميعا؟
متفقين أبو العبد.
Where's
حبيبي
Wasef?
هلا كيف حالك؟ كيف صحتك؟
الله يسعدك.
Alhamdulillah.
أبو العبد تنسى
داني.
تعور تحت ها.
داني سربرايز.
Yes, surprise.
رجع.
السلام عليكم داني.
رجع.
So guys, it's so unfair to you all. You don't get to see this part. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shut this live down. And then I'll take this part. I keep saying that I will take this part and I will bring it over to YouTube and Facebook so you guys can see how amazing this